What's up, folks? Welcome back to On Texas Football. I'm lifetime Longhorn Rod Davers. Pleased to be joined by another lifetime Longhorn, the young prodigy himself, CJ Vogel. We'll be joined by some other members of the OTF family for our in-draft live watch is what we're going to do of the 2026 NFL Draft. Thank you to our friends at Prize Picks. This in-draft live watch will be brought to you by our friends at Prize Picks. We'll tell you more about what they got going on a little bit later on in the program. But thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. Throw them out there. Questions, comments. We'll try to address as many of them as we can. Super chats always jump to the front of the line. You can interrupt the show anytime. Boom, there he is, our own coach, former high school football coach at Vernon, Capel, Brownwood, Belton, Rotan. Also played college football at Abilene Christian, coach there as well. Was on the staff at the University of Texas for multiple head football coaches. And these days you can catch his work at ShipleyRanches.com. It's our own coach, Bob Shipley. What's going on, coach? How you feeling?
Hey, it's a great night. It's a great night. NFL Draft, baby. Dreams are fixing to come true.
It is a beautiful thing. No mystery at the top of this thing either. We all know Fernando Mendoza is going to get drafted number 1 overall. And it got me to thinking, honestly, this is kind of what we're hoping at least the storyline for Fernando Mendoza throughout the season is what Arch Manning can do, right? To meet the expectations ultimately that Arch Manning has had coming into Texas, he's going to have to do what Fernando Mendoza did, basically. Win the national title, win a Heisman, and go number 1 overall.
That's the dream.
That's basically that. Now, I'm not saying that's fair, but that's how high the expectations are for him. And that's he's the third player, Mendoza's third player in one season, in a single season. That's what's expected of Arch, honestly. That's the crazy part of this whole thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's not super unrealistic to think that could happen, too. So, look, we don't need to – I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute here, Rob, but the 2027 draft is going to be significantly more enjoyable on Thursday night for the first round for Longhorn fans and what we'll see this evening. But in those way too early look-aheads, those mocks, I mean, a lot of them have Arch Manning going 1-1 and Colin Simmons, Cam Coleman, Trevor Gooseby expected to be in that top 15 to 20 range as well. So, there's a long way to go before we're here this time next year. But it is fun to sit here and just kind of dream about what's to come 365 days from now.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm glad we're doing this. People are like, man, y'all doing a live watch of the first round of the draft and no Longhorns. Maybe Anthony Hill could sneak into the back of the first round. Maybe that could be the case. But honestly, for us, this is basically we can troubleshoot for next year. When Texas is going to have easily right now, it looks like 4 first-rounders. That could easily turn into 5 first-rounders potentially. I mean, we're talking about 4 in the top 20, top 15. In this draft, Ohio State, I mean, the more research you do about Ohio State, man, the more they're going to get 4 in the top 10, looks like. It looks like that's going to be the case. That'll be the first time since, I want to say, like 1967 or something like that the team has had 4 players drafted in the top 10 of the same draft. But they're bringing out all the old school Steelers stars. Is that Lance Swan up there?
Hines Ward, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good stuff.
Hey, there's a Roethlisberger jersey.
Oh,
Did you guys remember ever seeing those girls with bikinis that had the quarterbacks' names on them, like Favre, little tight hiney, and these small guys, and then Roethlisberger had this big old fat butt in a bikini that had her name across the back of the bikini. I'm sorry. I don't want to derail things, but that just came to mind when I saw a Roethlisberger jersey.
Hey, man, he likes big butts and he cannot lie. Right? He's not alone.
It was a big one.
Something else I thought was like just kind of doing research about, this draft. And we'll get into a lot of it, of course, but getting back to Ohio State. Ohio State's they already have the record for the most players drafted all time and first round players. I went and looked it up. So this is how good Ohio State's been. They've had since 2000, they've had the most wide receivers, O-line, D-line, and DBs drafted. And they about to wreck shop in this draft again too. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza is going to be the first pick. We know that, but the story of the draft is the first round anyway is going to be Ohio State. And honestly, I'm with CJ. Why Ryan Day didn't go further this year in the playoff? I have no idea. Like, I don't know how that's the case. Like that they should be some Ohio State fans. I know they just came off a national title, so maybe that's why you can't call them out. Just won one, but they were easily the most talented team in college football.
Easily,
and it wasn't even close, guys. It wasn't close. It actually was not close when you look at this draft compared to what they got coming back.
Hey, Rod, tell us about your draft experience. What was it like for you? Where were you at?
Oh, man. I got drafted 123rd overall, so I was in the 4th round. I was at home in Houston and had the same experience most guys do. I'm sure Jordan had the same experience where you're watching guys get drafted that you believe you were better than. That's the torture of being drafted. And you know what? That's every player watching the draft who wasn't drafted in the 1st and the 2nd round. And honestly, some of the 2nd round and 1st round guys feel like, man, I should have got drafted a little bit higher. So basically, everybody who got drafted, except for Fernando Mendoza, pretty much everybody who gets drafted believes they should have been drafted higher. I learned that when I talked to other guys. I'm like, so everybody believes they should have been drafted higher, but that's the confidence of a guy that's going to play at the next level. You got to have that kind of confidence. So I had that experience, and man, the crazy part is, speaking of guys who got drafted ahead of me, we talked about this before, right? Now,
yep,
yeah, the paralyzed guy.
CJ's laughing because CJ was probably about to bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up myself, so y'all can't bring it up against me. All right, I got drafted 123rd overall. I'm not sure what number he was drafted. I'm sure right now Matthew's looking it up. But Dennis Weathersby, I believe, was his name, out of Oregon State, and he got drafted ahead of me, and I actually probably was a good player. Maybe was a better player in college than me. I actually haven't done research. But I do remember he had gotten shot like a couple of weeks before the draft. Like, dude got shot. Was it Kirk? Yeah, her 98th overall. Was it Kirk? I think he was in like a hospital still, like recovering from a gunshot wound.
I thought he was paralyzed or something. They drafted a paralyzed player.
No, he wasn't paralyzed. He wasn't paralyzed. But I was like, oh, that dude I was going to get drafted ahead of that dude who just got shot a couple of weeks ago. Nope. Dude who got shot was considered a better prospect than Rod B. So that always kind of stuck with me. But yeah, I watched it in Houston with my family. I'm glad I did. And, ultimately I got a call from a couple of teams. At least my agent informed me that a couple of teams were, stay on the lookout or, stay close to your phone. It might be about to happen. And that was like late in the 3rd round that started. And I didn't get it till, I don't know what 123rd is in the 4th round, but apparently there were 2 other teams that were close to picking Rod B, but decided nah. And maybe it was a team that picked the dude that got shot. Maybe it was that team. But ultimately, it ended up being the Giants. Which, by the way, I'll say this: that a lot of the draft is a lot of it's more connections than you think about people who you know or people who know you. There's degrees of separation. I had been training in Jersey with the Sims family, and because Phil Sims had a training facility up there, to get guys ready for the combine and everything. So I trained up there. I met a lot of the Giants, like strength and conditioning coaches and some of their staff already. And they had been hanging out there too. I did not. I cut off my braids and everything for the draft process. So I was trying to be as clean cut as possible. So they drafted me because I guess they had already done a little intel or research, and they knew a lot about me through 3 degrees of separation, right, kind of through the Sims family. So that was kind of cool. And
I would say from Rod, see if you agree with this statement. From probably the 3rd round on, and maybe some 2nd rounders, but from the 3rd round on, a lot of your success in the NFL depends on who you're drafted by. I know that Denver had the pick 1 or 2 picks after Cincinnati in the draft, and they called Jordan and said they were going to draft him. Mm-hmm. But Denver would have been a much better place for him to go than Cincinnati. But, just getting the right look at Wes Welker. The career he had, just getting drafted by or signing with the right team has a lot to do with those guys that are edge players on the edge of whether this guy can play in the league or not. Just getting in the right system, to fit your skill set is huge, from the third round on, in my opinion.
Yeah, two prime examples recently for Texas. I mean, little Jordan Humphrey, everywhere Sean Payton's gone, he's gone with them. Right now in the Broncos, he's stuck around after a few years with the Saints. And, of course, Brendan Schooler sticking around in New England, catching the tail end of the Belichick era where it was all about special teams, where you can make a difference, you'll stick around, become a fan favorite. He's become an all-pro in the special teams category. So, Coach, it's really interesting to see, for a guy like Ethan Burke this year. Is it more advantageous for him to go undrafted to find a spot that, one, maybe he can sit closer to home, two, find a place with a thinner depth chart, and three, ultimately find a way into camp a little easier than what it was if you end up, just being taken so others can't take you. So,
all right, here we go.
First pick, we're getting really close to it. I don't think it's going to be any surprise, but
we know what it is.
Fernando Mendoza, say hello to the purple or to the silver and black.
You get to hang out with the GOAT too, man. Hey, that's pretty damn. That's pretty cool. You get to hang out with the GOAT and do it in Vegas. Beautiful thing.
What a great story. Cuban immigrants. Just a great story.
It is a fan. That whole thing was a storybook, kind of Hollywood. Storyline for Indiana, Signetti, and even the quarterback Mendoza. And ended up playing Miami, and was he born in Miami? Was that what it is? He was born in Miami?
Yeah, I think so.
You can't write it any better than that. And Arrow Kids, I totally agree with you. That on the other side of the NFL draft, as a player being drafted, obviously everybody thinks they should have got drafted higher. When you're a player in the league, every NFL player who's, let's just say, other than the big money guys who got the big money contract, you're a big money contract guy, you're good. All right. You don't even worry about your job, nothing like that. But that's like 20% of the league. Everybody else got this mindset watching the draft as an NFL player. I hope we get better. I just hope they don't draft my position. I pray we as a team get better. Just don't draft my position, because they draft your position, then that you don't notice. They don't even got to put you on notice. They drafted your position. You already know. That means in that room, they were like, yeah, let's think about another receiver, another DB. We'll see if we can push Babers. Might need to get him out of there, man. I don't know if he's cutting it anyway.
Right, sitting there saying, go get the big fat guys.
Yeah, go get me. Drop that D in, that edge. Yeah, linebacker. Great. You know what I mean? They draft a corner, like, damn, drafted a corner. Same round they drafted me. Damn. So that's that's how competitive the league is. I mean, it's nonstop. It's pretty cutthroat. All right, can we talk about Fernando Mendoza real quick? Can I tell you my favorite Fernando Mendoza stats? And I'm hoping Arch will have some of these stats next year, just kind of crazy. So if you go look at his off-target rate, he was only off-target on 7% of his passes. His deep ball completion rate was 53%. That is freak, like 20-plus yard passes downfield. He completed 53% of them. He was the FBS leader in red zone touchdowns, had 27. 0 interceptions inside the 20 in the last 2 years. Dude is money in the red zone. All right. Third and fourth down, also money. He ranked first in touchdowns on third and fourth down, fourth in QBR, second in EPA per drop back, fourth in yards per attempt on third and fourth down. Situationally, you can make the argument nobody was better in college football in red zone and third and fourth down. And how about this little nasty stat for you? He had a 72% success rate as a runner, basically on design runs and scrambles. That was the best for any FBS quarterback in the country.
Yeah.
He was that good. Like when he decided to scramble and when they used him on design runs. And if you look at quarterbacks with at least 200 pass attempts and at least 40-plus rushes in a season since 2019, his 2025 is fifth best. He was really good when he decided to run the football. Like I said, he was fantastic. Like he really was. Like he was that good. That's what you're hoping for Arch. Like Arch can be that good in money situations, and then when Arch decides to run, in terms of decision making when in his running, he's arguably the best in the country.
Yeah, it's lost on you that Fernando Mendoza is 6'5", 235, 240 pounds.
Dang.
He is huge. And we talked about how big Arch is, right? I mean, 6'4", 225. Add another inch, add another 15 pounds, and that's what Fernando Mendoza was this year. Obviously, you saw the run against Miami in the red area to score that touchdown. That doesn't happen if the frame is a little bit lighter, if the build is leaner. So, no, big body, and that will translate to getting hit because, look, the Raiders are a bad team. They do not have a good offensive line. He will be hit, and I know Kirk Cousins is there now to maybe lend a little bit of an easier transition to the starting role for Fernando Mendoza, but ultimately big-time talent. I mean, and it's interesting, too, second straight year where a recruit coming out of high school was a 2-star prospect or lower has now gone number one. Fernando Mendoza joining Cam Ward from a year ago.
That's a good point. It just shows you that I always said nobody really knows what the hell they're doing when it comes to quarterback. But I think Bill Walsh said very few people can coach the quarterback position, and even fewer can evaluate the quarterback position. And it's still true to this day. All right, here we go. Is it going to be the game?
I dabbled a little bit with our friends over at Prize Picks, and I picked Arvell Reese to be pick number 2. I'm seeing on the screen right now. I might not be a very happy camper. So.
Oh, yeah. They like Bailey. I ain't going to lie, man. His pass rushing ability is freaky. He's the best natural pass rusher in the draft. There ain't no doubt about that. Like this. It's his BGO. That second step is freaky. He's got a nasty dip and rip. I mean, his stats, they're undeniable. He's got his 22% pressure rate was the second highest among edges. He actually versus the run is the only question because he's a little undersized. So the question is early downs in the NFL where they're running the ball more than ever and they're using, heavy sets, 12 personnel, 21 personnel, 13 personnel. That'll be the question. Can somebody bully him off the football? But
real quick, David Bailey going number 2. And I think this is a pretty interesting comment from One Mav 2, almost a Longhorn. And he's absolutely right, and it's interesting looking back when David Bailey entered the portal from Stanford. You sit there and, you're Texas here. You're saying we have Colin Simmons, we have Ethan Burke, and, we like what we see from Zeno Mozelo. Adding David Bailey, who I believe had about 7.5 or 8 sacks at Stanford in 2024. You sat there and said, yeah, it'd be great. It's not an absolute need, right? Texas didn't need David Bailey a year ago. It would have been an extreme luxury. But looking back, you sit there and you say, okay, do you still take that same approach knowing that you have talent in the room, but you have the opportunity to maybe take that talent from a mid-round or a late-round pick to perhaps a first-round overall talent? So I think that was a change in the philosophy for Texas this year, because that wide receiver room was good this year. You're right. You have talent.
Yeah.
But if you can go out there and add a first-round talent like a Cam Coleman, I don't think you pass that up.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I'm sure he said, I don't know what he came down to for David Bailey, but yeah, that dude's he was a game changer. And this is the question now for Texas, because in this draft, now this is a different draft. This is a draft that doesn't have a lot of premium positions at the top of it. And we can talk about that later. That's basically the highest paid positions in the league. But so next year, you're going to have a lot of premium positions at the top. You'll have edge, you'll have quarterback, wide receiver at the top of the draft, a ton of really good ones. But could Texas have the best quarterback in the draft next year and the best edge rusher? If you do, could you go 1 and 2? Could you go 1 and 2?
That would be phenomenal. Yeah.
Is Colin Simmons that can he be that transformational in his development to take his game to the next level? He can end up being number 2 overall. I know, but usually if you're elite pass, if he's the best pass rusher in the draft, he's going to get that consideration. If Arch is the best quarterback in the draft, he's going to get that consideration. So that's what I wonder with watching this the way that it's playing out. Because basically that's what this is. The best quarterback in the draft, best pass rusher goes 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it hadn't happened a lot.
So
that's
certainly right. David Bailey has to be the highest draft pick in the history of Texas Tech football, I'm assuming.
Oh, that's a good question. I believe so, Coach.
I can imagine him having a number 1 draft pick. I don't know who that would be. It would have been
now we got to do some research.
back in the dark ages.
It's a good question, though, Coach. Got to look that up, honestly.
Yeah,
I would think it has to be, though, Coach. I'm with you. Just think about common sense. I would think
Crabtree, I think, went 7th.
You know what? We'll see in a second because Texas Tech about to tweet it out. If they ain't already tweeted out, let's go check Texas Tech football's Twitter account. Because if they did, they'd be right, Coach. They should be. If they
no doubt.
If they ain't bragging,
no doubt. I was with Joey last night at a banquet in Lubbock, and
what?
Yeah, and we got to visit a little bit, but we didn't talk about the draft.
Yeah, but
I've known him a long time. Former high school coach. You know, that's when I knew him, when I was at Coppell, and so anyway, he was. We had the National Football Foundation banquet in Lubbock last night, and I was attending and sitting at the table next to him.
That's awesome. Are you surprised? I mean, what did he have is it just that he knows ball, that his game translates from high school to a college?
Well, I think the thing that makes him separates him from a lot of guys that have been high school coaches is the way that he handles his players. You know, he's a players first coach, you know, and then of course, you know, having the money available to him that Texas Tech has been able to generate has obviously helped vault him up to the top of the, you know, coaching ranks, having the second draft pick in the 26th draft. You know, that's something you can hang your hat on with recruiting. But he's a player's coach. He always has been. And he said last night at the banquet, I'm, you know, deep down inside, my wheelhouse is a high school football coach. And I love players, and I love to make a difference in their life. And he's certainly done that.
No. Okay. I think Matthew was trying to inform us that it was not right. Texas Tech, they had a number 1 overall pick. Is that what you were trying to inform us of?
Back
Matthew?
in 1964. How about that?
Wow.
Wow.
You're kidding me.
Miles, right. Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. That's why I don't go with common sense all the time, because it ain't too common. All right, let's thank our sponsor, Prize Picks, really quickly before we move on and dive back into our in draft live watch here. But today's show presented to you by our friends at Prize Picks. And I'm telling you, if you're not watching games and also picking over at Prize Picks, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is great. It's a lot of fun. It's really easy. Doesn't take a lot of time, and gives you more reason to care about the games. Every play matters. Every moment matters. You're locked in the whole time. And like I said, it's not really complicated. There's no nonsense. You're just going more or less on player stats. That's it. Points, yards, hits, assists, whatever you're watching, you can build your lineup and let it ride. You literally, make it in 60 seconds or less. It'll take you minutes. If you want it to take longer, it can take longer. I mean, that's what I love about it. The best part is also you can mix and match across different sports. So say you got your favorite players really hot at the time. Let's say one of your guys on your favorite team is really hot. You can pick that and also match that with Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, golf, even esports, if that's your thing. All right, so for today, we decided to go, we're going to mix and match in a little bit. We're going to go with James Harden to have more than 3.5 2-pointers made. It seems pretty easy right there. The big beard has been surpassing that easily lately. We're also taking Josh Young to have more than 5 fantasy points as a hitter. Young has been averaging over 12 in his last 5 games. We also wrapping that up with Bubba Chandler to have less than 5 strikeouts against the Rangers. Bubba has been struggling with strikeouts the last few games, so we're banking on that trend to continue tonight. That's the fun of it. You trust your gut. You can do a lot of research, put your lineups together, and just let it ride. If you haven't tried it yet, now's the time. Download the app, use the code HMA, play $5, and they're giving you $50 in lineups instantly. The code HMA, play 5, get 50. That's one heck of a deal. And as always, play smart, play responsibly, play Prize Picks. That was unexpected. A lot of people didn't have Jeremiah Love going that high.
Yeah.
That was, maybe it was the first kind of twist of the draft. Maybe some people had him going that high, but I don't know if a lot of teams had him going in the top 5.
It's always funny, the conversation about running backs in the NFL draft, because you sit here and year after year after year, you say, hey, first round pick on a running back typically doesn't pan out too well. And then you come across the right situation when you have an offensive line in place, like what you're saying with the talent of a Saquon in Philadelphia or the talent of a Bijan Robinson, plus now the usage in Atlanta. And you say, hey, sometimes it's just pretty easy to toss the ball to this guy and have him go get you 15 yards. And look, I don't think the Cardinals are in a position to be ultra competitive right away, but they did put up pretty solid running stats this year before James Conner went down with injury. So, what does that mean for a guy like Jeremiah Love? Well, I think it tells you right away they expect him to be the bell cow for this offense moving forward, especially now that Kyler Murray is no longer in that backfield.
My favorite Jeremiah Love, he's only 20.
Yeah, young.
He's still a baby. Like, he's doing it out there. I mean, I know that, I'm old, so I can talk like that. He's still really, really young. And here's some of my favorite stats about Jeremiah Love, because I keep up with his stats because he's really fun to watch. So he's faced the lowest rate of light boxes, means nobody faces him with a light box because everybody's scared to, and they should be. 35% of his runs are against light boxes. Versus light boxes, he's averaging 9 yards per rush.
Gosh.
So that's why you don't want to throw a light box in front of him. When he is basically contacted beyond the line of scrimmage for the first time, meaning you don't hit him until he's already past the line of scrimmage, a yard or two, he's he's averaging 10 yards per rush. So you better hit him behind your close at the line of scrimmage or close. Versus heavy boxes, he's still averaging 5 yards per rush. Second best in the FBS. And his missed tackles forced per touch, 33.5%, is the 9th best since 2015. To give you context on that, Bijan, 3rd best in that time span at 37.1. How about this? Rojo, 6th best, 34.3%. Damn, wow. That was a hell of a backfield you had. Ain't nobody could tackle that backfield you had. But Jordan Love is really impressive. Like, Jeremiah Love, is really impressive. It's hard to. And I see at 20 years old, and it's another stat that's helping Jeremiah Love. I did some research. Here's another stat for you. NFL stat. NFL offenses run the ball now at the highest rate since 2011. Highest run rate in the NFL since 2011. They had the highest rushing success rate on running back runs since 2004. All right, they used 2 or fewer wide receivers at the highest rate since 2014. And the highest rate of 6 O-line snaps since 2016. And the run rate on 3rd and 3+ yards to gain was the highest in NFL history. The NFL has become a hybrid spread league. Maybe that's why they're saying, hell, man, let's go get us a young back and let's just roll and ride with him. Who knows?
Who knows? As we wait for the Titans to pick at number 4, I've seen a couple comments in the chat. I do want to mention Texas basketball picked up a big-time commit out of the portal once again today. Mikey Lewis, first team All West Coast Conference out of Santa Clara. Look, big-time prospect. Again, Texas loading up right now. Sorry, St. Mary's is where he was out of. 13.9 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 2 assists per game. Again, this is one that you look at and you say, okay, Texas really going all in. Sean Miller, David Punch, Isaiah Johnson. You look at where this team is now positioned to contend next fall. It's going to be very highly ranked. There's going to be a lot of anticipation for what this team can do. But look, a 6'3", 185-pound combo guard. He'll play the 1, he'll play the 2. Right now with Isaiah Johnson coming in, Bo Ogden, Austin Gooseby. You have a full group of guys right now that you can pick to handle the ball handling duty. Sorry, I got tripped up looking at who the Titans just picked right there, Rob.
I'm a little surprised about that one too. But look, I want to ask you real quick though. So you think this is a top 10 team there, similarly, like preseason when it starts? You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
There's too much talent. There's too much versatility. With the way that they score, I expect that to continue. But the way that they've added defense and guys that buy into kind of their personality is playing hard physical football or basketball on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right, I'm a little surprised at the Carnell Tate thing. And I love the NFL draft. They do all this mock draft stuff, and I'm a mock slut. I'll look at any mock draft. And you look at a lot of mock drafts too, CJ. How many mock drafts have you had that have had Carnell Tate as the second, as that basically he ends up being the first Ohio State player off the board?
Not a single one. And it's crazy too, because look, we've talked about this. Carnell Tate is one of those guys where he's going to have a better NFL career than what maybe he got credit for coming out of college, because he wasn't known as the best wide receiver on his own team. So that's the craziest thing to me.
Oh man, I love the NFL draft.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
That is fantastic. Who the hell saw that coming? That's okay. This is good news though. This is why this is good news. I'm gonna bring it back to Texas, because if Carnell Tate can go this high in this draft, and that's why I say the reason there's no premium positions at the top of this draft, and so this is why it's gonna be a wild draft, because usually premium positions kind of dictate the draft. You know that, guys. It's like a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of edge rushers, a lot of offensive tackles, a lot of wide receivers. Hey, so we're gonna go with. But they're not actually the best positions and best players in this draft are actually kind of non-premium positions. Safety, linebacker, running back, and now just wild stuff. So, okay. Can I say about Carnell Tate though, real quick? Can I give you his X-Man ability? His contested catch rate is pretty freaky.
Yeah, we saw that firsthand in Columbus.
Exactly. He got no Texas. Great point. 86% contested catch rate in a season. That's third best since 2014. 69% of his career, which is still pretty damn good. Contested catch rate. The only guys ahead of him in contested catch rate in the season in 2014 were Jackson Smith and Jigba and Justin Jefferson since 2014. That contested catch rate. He was really good in that category. And so, I mean, some people said he was too slow, because I know they're worried about his speed, right? They're worried about, like, I think he ran a 4. Some people had him hand clocked at 4, high 4.4. Some people had him, I think the electronic time was at low 4.5. I mean, that's plenty fast enough for a receiver. Just so,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you know how to run routes and you know the art of creating separation, that's and he does, by the way. And I agree with CJ. Might have a better now. The team he's going to will determine a lot about that, but I think he's really, really talented. So,
hey,
yeah, fifth. They're saying fifth straight first round pick from the wide receiver position for Ohio State. That's pretty phenomenal.
And they're gonna have a 6th next year too with Jeremiah Smith. So, hey, something about Ohio State wide receivers, they tend to pan out pretty well. But it's gonna be interesting, because now that Brian Hartline no longer there, we'll see if that sustains. I don't really expect Ohio State to drop off significantly when it comes to talent, but at the wide receiver position, they had become synonymous, to your point, Coach, with first-round guys that produce at the NFL level. All of those guys, for the most part, developed and recruited by Brian Hartline.
Ohio State now is officially wide receiver U. They've had 26 now wide receivers drafted since 2000. But they also have the most combined receiving touchdowns, and receptions by receivers in the NFL from one program. So, yeah, there's nobody producing wide receivers at the rate and the level that Ohio State is. So, like I said, that's the kind of the story of this draft. But I'm a little surprised, guys. I'm telling you, I would love to see the percentage of mock drafts out there that had Carnell Tate as the first Ohio State Buckeye drafted, because I'm going to say right now, I don't remember any.
I don't think I saw a single one either.
And I look at new ones every day, like basically every day. When I get a little time, we'll check out a few 4, 5, 6 mock drafts, and I could not remember one guy. So that's definitely the big. I thought the Jeremiah Love thing was a big shakeup. That's a bigger shakeup than the Jeremiah Love thing. There ain't no doubt about that. So.
We'll see. Might have a trade coming down.
Yeah, I expect a lot of trades in this draft too, just because of the lack of premium position. And some people, because 27 is supposed to be such a blockbuster draft, one of the all-time great drafts in the history of the NFL. That's what they're saying. And because of that, and by the way, Texas is a big part of that. You're supposed to have 4 players in the top 15, top 20. It's a lot of teams are deciding, you know what, I want to get myself in a good position for that 27 draft. I might need to get myself, I want to make sure that not that I'm planning on us being bad or anything, but I'd really like to make sure that we got draft capital for that draft, which because it's so top heavy, it's going to push a ton of good talent down to the second and third rounds. So, man, the Carnell Tate thing still got me. Man, that's wild. That's good for all the wide receivers in the draft, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe that's going to move all those guys up the board. Anybody who wanted a wide receiver is like, oh, damn. I thought Carnell Tate would be there at like number 10. You know what I mean? Nope.
Look at that. Chiefs trade up to 6 with the Browns.
What the hell the Chiefs did? What they need? What do they need? They need wide receiver. They need
Jordan Tyson,
DBs.
maybe?
They need DBs. They got both of their DBs are gone. They lost both of their DBs to the Rams. Remember, the Rams got one of their starting corners in free agency, and they traded for McDuffie. So they need a corner. And the best corner is in the draft is Delane. They need a corner. And they need a corner that can play press because they play more press man than anybody in the league. They play more press coverage than anybody in the league. So if they're drafting you to play press. Best press corners in the draft. The one that's going to draft it this high, I'm assuming it's Delane, but I'm not saying he's the pick. They might want to do something freaky. They usually don't do something freaky in the back end with a safety or a linebacker, but maybe they want one of them Ohio State boys. I don't know. They could be like, hey, we didn't know Carnell Tate was going to get drafted here, so maybe they're thinking something crazy too. I have no idea.
So who's the top defensive lineman in the draft, in y'all's opinion?
Talking about like edge or just like defensive
lineman.
Peter Woods from Clemson's up there. The McDonald from Ohio State's going to be in consideration.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I don't know, Coach. I don't outside of those two.
Yeah. It's not a ton of great.
Well, we're about to see if the Giants take one of them.
Giants do need D-line. Who is it?
Just like that.
Oh. My TV is down. Have they booed Goodell yet?
Oh, boy. Have they booed?
Oh, they booed Goodell? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure because he likes it, and now it's like tradition. Like if you're they have this thing like a traveling expo around the country. If your fan base doesn't boo Goodell, it's like that's a tradition. You got
a soft fan base if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. What you know what I mean? Kissing up to Goodell. What you doing, man? Boo
what are we thinking? But no, the Giants pick is in, and it's Arvell Reese. So Ohio State goes 4-5.
Wow.
The Chiefs are on the clock. Again, I'm not saying Texas is going to have this level of, immediate success, but they're certainly in position next year to have multiple top 5 picks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, right now it's Arch Manning and Colin Simmons are to me are the two. Gooseby could do it. I mean, he's the top tackle.
Right. And it's interesting too because so far we've yet to see a tackle. So how dependent are teams for a left tackle? I think will dictate on where you see a guy like Trevor Gooseby go next year.
Okay, so it's clear Ohio State is trending toward getting 4 guys in the top 10. By the way, it would be historic. The only school in the Common Era draft, and this is since 1967, to have 4 players selected in the top 10 of the same draft was Michigan State. In the 1967 draft, they had Bubba Smith 1, Clint Jones 2, George Webster 5, and Gene Washington 8 in that draft. Yeah, so it could be trending that way. I think it's gonna happen. It's a done deal.
Now, for my Cowboys fans out there, if you see Caleb Downs' name start to trickle on down to 12. Sign me up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sign me up.
The way it's looking right now, he ain't going to make it like that.
Now, if he's not at 12 and he goes earlier,
yeah.
I mean, just punt the draft. We'll
if he ends up – but I would say that safeties, yeah, they oftentimes slide a little bit. The best safeties in the draft, they slide. But that'd be great for the Cowboys. Cowboys need defense. That's arguably the best defense. I heard, and we'll talk about Arvell Reese, but I heard Nick Saban say that he would have been drafted. He would have been the first safety drafted after his freshman year. He was that good.
Yeah, oh yeah, I believe that.
That's what Nick Saban said. I was like, okay. In that case, yeah, sign me up then. Okay, Arvell Reese, dude. This is just what do you do with Arvell Reese? Let me ask you that. If you draft, you're the Giants, are you going? This is the question. You draft a freak like this at linebacker, right? He's not Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a linebacker that can rush the edge if he needs to. Arvell Reese is kind of a freak athlete that they're saying could be an edge or could be a linebacker. What do you want him to be? What are you drafting him for? Because they tried to do this with Michael Parsons, and the Cowboys themselves decided, you know what, to hell with the experiment. Let's just let him rush the passer off the edge. And that's what he is now. And he's similar because he's got some freaky tools and freaky traits, and he's a front seven guy, but what is he? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a great question in a way. It kind of picks or kind of looks a little bit towards what Anthony Hill will be used as at the next level as well. You know, similar measurements. I think Arvell Reese is 6'4", 242 pounds. Anthony Hill, 6'3", 240, right in that range. You know, ran 4.46. Ant Hill ran a 4.51, I believe. Mm-hmm. So very similar. And you put them in similar instances, right? Many times played the middle of the field as a Mike backer or a Will backer. Then you see him spun down to an edge, and you obviously saw the havoc right there. So what teams do with an Arvell Reese, I think, is going to be really interesting in turn to what they do with Anthony Hill. And Rod, do you remember Isaiah Simmons coming out of Clemson a couple of years ago?
Oh, I love that dude.
I think he was kind of the blueprint to, okay, is he a linebacker or is he an edge rusher? And obviously the Cardinals did not figure that out because I think Simmons is now on the Giants or has at least bounced around a few teams now. But it was very much the same in terms of we get this freakish talent and we see the promise as a middle backer and we see obviously the havoc as an edge rusher. Well, if you don't get it right, you better at least throw him at the other position so you can get a test there. It's what we talked about a little bit last year with Travis Hunter. If you don't get it right the first position, well, just flip him over and then you get him a second opportunity.
That's true.
They didn't get that right. It'll be interesting to see if they get it right here with Arvell Reese and with Anthony Hill as well.
Yeah, I like the idea of, because I think this is ultimately the high ceiling of these types of players is that they can be on early downs, straight up, just your linebacker on early downs, on run downs, and then you can just spin them down to the edge on passing downs. Like ideally, if they're really good at both, like I said, ultimately, they don't always end up being really good at both. But like you said, then you have options. Just put them whatever their elite skill set translates to, just put them there, just like they did with Michael Parsons. But ideally, you want a guy that can do both. Anthony Hill can do both. Can you do both at a high level like the NFL? That remains to be seen. But I think that ultimately is the goal for everybody now. They want those guys that can do both, and Arvell Reese has that kind of upside as a player. No, he's freaky. I like the idea of an Arvell Reese. It's harder to execute, though, with guys like that. But I will say Texas, he had his most pass rush snaps against Texas, and they moved him around to 9 different alignments against Texas. So Matt Patricia really unleashed Arvell Reese against Texas. Told y'all they was going to pick the corner. They need corner. I mean, you can't lose your top starting corners, your 2 starting corners, and be a team that plays more bump and run coverage than anybody else pretty much in the league. And just decide, you know what, we're gonna go about business as usual. No, you need to go draft the best man coverage corner, one of the best press corners in the draft, and that's Montour Delay. So it's a good pick. Makes sense. That's why they moved up. Smart move. Deach doesn't miss very often, and they draft their corners are really good. They draft corners really well. They've been one of the better organizations in the NFL at drafting young DBs, getting them on cheap contracts, and then other teams pretty much have signed them. They've lost like 3 or 4 DBs to be either starting DBs to trades or free agency because they just don't want to pay them because they draft them so well.
We got a quick little update. This is from Pete Nakos. Quick tweet. The D1 Board of Directors is scheduled to meet on Monday, where it is expected to receive an update from the D1 cabinet on the 5-for-5 eligibility proposal. It remains unclear about the implementation or grandfathering athletes into this proposal. There's no timeline on a vote, but 5-for-5 would just mean you have 5 years to play your 5 years of eligibility. So it's going to be interesting what that moves. I think a lot of coaches are in favor of that. I think a lot of fans are in favor of that. I certainly am in favor of that because I don't need this sport infiltrated by 27 and 26-year-old athletes, especially with ones in the basketball side of things where you've had your opportunity, you've gone and played in the pros, and now you come back. No, sir, that is not what we believe, and that's not what I believe to be college athletics. So going to be interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I understand those guys are just trying to get money. I get it. It was a gold mine, man. It was. I mean, you stay in college an extra year and you get, who knows, 30, 50,000, 300, depending on how good of a player you are, 300,000. Yeah, that's worth you getting them, hiring a lawyer and trying to get another year eligibility. So I get the hustle. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All right. So don't hate the athletes that were trying to get it. Be mad at the NCAA for not putting the right parameters and structure in place and guardrails in place to protect the integrity of the game. Don't get mad at these guys for trying to get that money. Y'all be trying to get it too. They say you can go back to school and get 6 figures just to go back to school. Wouldn't you try to go back to school and play ball?
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't get mad at the guys. Just be mad at the institution. So
I am mad at the institution.
Y'all have been mad at me because I'd have been a 7th, 8th year guy. Hey, Rob B come 8th year. Yep, 8th year All-American. Boom. About to hit the league too. 25 years old, coach, ready to hit the league. already got a couple of mil in the bank. It's all good. Yeah, we're good. So I get it, man. It's a hustle. Monster Delane, can I tell you what my favorite stats about Delane?
Please.
0 penalties, 0 touchdowns allowed in coverage.
No way.
In 2025. It's pretty damn good.
Hey, while we're on the conversation of corners, Rod, I don't expect to hear Bo Masco's name next year in the first round. What kind of season would it take to hear his name maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round next year?
Oh, I think for Bo Masco, just showing he's a ball hawk. He's got some good film out there. He's got to show he can make more plays on the football because he hadn't done that. He hadn't really done that at the college level. He did at the high school level. He was a ball hawk at the high school level. I think he had 10 interceptions in his last 2 years. I believe like 17 PBUs. I mean, it was really, really productive. And at Rutgers, I think a lot of times the talent around him didn't allow him to thrive, but he put a lot of good stuff on film. Time for him to peak, and to peak as a DB, you're a ball hawk. You're making plays on the ball. And I think that's what he's got to do. And if they end up playing a lot more man and press, it'll also help him too. If they show off his versatility in the slot and on the outside, that'll help his draft stock too. He's a guy that plays special teams, so that'll help his draft stock. I think he can easily be a mid-round pick. I think he could try his best to get to the 2nd round. Like that should be his goal. But I don't know how he'll test. Testing is also a big part of this. You guys know.
Honorable mention All Big 12, All Big 10 a year ago, coach. It seems like Texas has had a very strong run in corners over the last couple of years. I mean, based off of what we've talked about this spring with Masco, obviously some of the interceptions, the plays on the football. What are your expectations in terms of what he could be on the field this year?
Yeah, I expect him to be, a big-time player for us. We've heard nothing but great things about him. I think he's proved himself time and time again. But, once again, we talk about this a lot. That test at Ohio State, 2nd game of the year is going to be a big test for him and for our defense overall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And it still kind of blows my mind going through some of the photos that we took from week 1.
Oh,
look, he's 5'10", 5'11". And Grayson Littleton's got about an inch on him. So that's interesting. The Commanders just picked. There goes your 3rd, Rod. There goes the 3rd Ohio State Buckeye in the top 7. It's
going to happen, guys. Oh, you know what? I apologize. Let me shout out to Rocky Poor because there's a super chat in here. I apologize, Rocky. I didn't even see the super chat. That's on me. We did following the draft. I got distracted. Rocky here. This is from, I should have hit it right when the Chiefs picked. He said the Chiefs are up. So good time to shout out Derek Johnson. He made the Chiefs Hall of Fame today. Yes, shout out to my man DJ. I did see that as well, that Derek Johnson is basically a Hall of Famer. Well, he's Hall of Famer already in college, Hall of Famer. I think he's he's like 3 Hall of Fames, honestly. This is like his 3rd Hall of Fame for DJ, but well deserved and fitting that he is now in the Chiefs Hall of Fame. So shout out to my man Derek Johnson, man. That's a great honor. And by the way, I take some credit for Derek Johnson, not a ton of it, but I was tasked with hosting him on this recruiting visit. That's all I'll say. All right. Mac just told me to get it done.
All right. Can you tell me what y'all did on that recruiting visit, Rod B?
I will not. A gentleman.
Okay.
As a gentleman and a good friend, I won't. We did usual stuff. Then we went downtown. Went out downtown and then went a couple other places. And
that's what I'm wondering. Those couple other places.
Rod B, I got a question for. Hypothetically speaking, say you did. You're driving around the recruits, you end up getting pulled over. What would you have told old Mr. Officer that y'all were doing that evening?
Right. I wouldn't have been as honest as some folks have been in that situation. No, I would have. Yeah. Maybe that was not the officer's business at the time where we were headed specifically. But no,
you go get milkshakes at
or oh, and see, DJ hosted Marcus. See, that's why Marcus came, no doubt. So, see, that's how I know they like you, Marcus. All right, we
got to ask Marcus what he did on his visit now.
Honestly, it might have been the same thing Derek did on his visit.
Yeah, we were leaving a small gathering.
Going
to Dirty Martin's.
That's right. No doubt about it. No, but we had to get. Mac just said, "Hey, man, Mac did say because Mac didn't want to put pressure on you. So Mac was like, "Hey, if you don't want to, host them." Or you don't think you can do the job or you can close the deal, let me know. Because he said we got to have him. Like we have to have this guy. Like he's a program changing type player. Like we can't win a national title unless we get this type of player. And Mac was right. He is that damn good. Yeah.
They went to a Bible study. Yeah.
LCA. A little LCA meeting there.
With glitter.
But anyway, congrats to my man DJ. Thank you very much, Rocky, for throwing it out there. He's a College Football Hall of Famer, Texas Athletics Hall of Honor, Texas High School Football Hall of Famer, and now Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer. So well deserved there. All right, Sonny Styles, man, I like the Sonny. Would you rather have Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese? Is the question. I'd rather have Sonny Styles. I think.
You think so? I
know he can play linebacker. I know he can play linebacker.
Yeah.
And then
I like the edge rushing ability from Reese a little bit more, but I mean, you're not really sacrificing a ton with Sonny Styles, whose measurables are just as freakish. And I mean, he was the guy I thought when Texas played Ohio State this past year, you had to look at where Sonny Styles was and say, okay, I know that 2 is going to hurt you. I know that Reese is going to hurt you, but Styles, more than any of them, can become an impact player and maybe any other play more than most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I just think that I know he can be my early down linebacker, and then on third down, we can spin him down. Or because he's so freaky athletically, because you got a 43-inch vert, 4'4", 640, whatever it is, at 6'5", 240. Man, that guy can cover a lot of space in coverage too. So I'm not worried about him being matched up against tight ends and linebackers in coverage. But I mean, either one of those guys, you're talking about top 10 picks. So, I mean, you like Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman? Like, I don't know which one. You take which one you want. I'll take the other one. I mean, at that point, so I get it. But I do think that Ohio State's going to end up getting, because Caleb Downs, if somebody's going to trade up for him, I bet if he's not going to get out of the top 10. I'd be surprised if he got out of the top 10. I would. And
all right. So who is, both you guys, posing this question to both you guys, who is, in your opinion, the top 10 pick biggest bust in NFL draft history?
Oh gosh.
Oh, I don't. It's probably gonna be. It's probably Jamarcus Russell. It's probably the easy answer to throw out there.
Yeah.
The answer. Just because I don't know if he ever accomplished anything at the.
Yeah.
There was so much hype, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of what he accomplished at the.
I don't know. There were a few in the last couple of years. I mean, Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is a good one.
Trey Lance hasn't done. I mean, I threw out Isaiah Simmons earlier. He hasn't really amounted to much.
Yeah, I was wondering about Ryan Leaf. I wasn't sure he was a top 10 pick, but he was.
Oh yeah, that's true. Ryan Leaf should be up there. He was like number 2? Was he number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Leaf should be up there. I think Ryan Leaf might accomplish more than Jamarcus Russell did. I got to go look and see now, but obviously both of them should be in that conversation.
Now, the interesting study I've done some. I did numbers on this years ago. The interesting study on like hit rate in the first round. Obviously, quarterback is a tough one, right? He makes or breaks your franchise. If you get stuck with the wrong one, you're picking again in the top of the draft for the next couple of years. Wide receiver hit rate, not as high as you'd think. You go back and you look at the last 10 years of wide receivers taken in the first round, it's not a super successful hit rate. Yes, you have your Justin Jeffersons, you have your Jamar Chases, you have your guys taken from Ohio State that seemingly always pan out to be pretty good. Then you got guys like Traylon Burks. Then you got guys like Jalen Reagor. Some of these guys that fall a little bit more towards the back end of that first round, and you sit there and you say, all right, well, that's not necessarily what I've signing up for, right? Would you say Jerry Jeudy signed up or has lived up to a first round pick? I wouldn't think so. Henry Ruggs, obviously not. So, it's wide receiver to me. If you are picking a wide receiver in the first round, he better be a Jeremiah Smith. He better be a Cam Coleman level talent. Otherwise, you need to go get one of those guys that you can stick in the trenches and become a difference maker.
I think you're right, though, because I've always said wide receivers are it's just one of the deepest, if not the deepest position in football at any level. And you can find really good wide receiving talent middle to late rounds, Johnny Manziel, middle to late rounds. If you go look at it, a lot of some of your best NFL receivers weren't necessarily receivers that were drafted at the top of the NFL draft. So I agree with you. I think unless you get, like I said, there are some elite guys, no doubt. But other guys, I'm with you. I think teams reach at wide receiver sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Green Bay did it a year ago, and I hate to say it because Matthew Golden, Texas guy, but CB points it out. He didn't do much this past year. I think only about 400 receiving yards.
No.
Green Bay, good team. I'm sure if you would have gone back and they selected a position elsewhere, who knows what they could have done. Yeah,
you're right. And that's a team that usually drafts wide receivers in the middle rounds. They usually do. Aaron Rodgers complaining they don't draft me a wide receiver. Draft. Speaking of the wide receiver position, the Saints end up drafting Jordan Tyson, the 8th overall pick. So no, I agree with your hypothesis. I think you're right on the money. I like that theory. Jordan Tyson,
pride of Allen, Texas.
Oh yeah. So what do you think? I mean, did you follow his career a little bit?
I did. I knew about Jordan Tyson quite a bit. He moved into Allen, I believe, for his senior year. His brother played basketball at Texas Tech. Jalen Tyson, I believe, was his name. Really solid player. Jordan, I think Texas was after him in recruiting as well. But no, actually, am I getting that right? I think he might have played at Texas. I don't remember 100%. But Jordan was really talented. He didn't have the great measurables. So he was a guy that his game speed was always significantly better than what his 40-yard dash, his laser times were, right? He didn't jump the highest, but you turned on the game tape, and this guy just made plays. Jalen Tyson was at UT and transferred. Yes, thank
you. So you were right. You were right on both accounts.
Okay. Thank you, Antoine. But no, watching him at Allen, it was just like, all right, he has 15 to 20 targets a game, and he would end up with 200 yards. And you're like, why doesn't this guy have more offers, more, notoriety in the recruiting world? Well, he ended up at Colorado. He entered the portal, ends up at Arizona State. And it's funny, Coach Prime dropped a tweet the other day. He goes, yeah, man, he's a baller. And people are like, hey, man, he was a part of your team and left. Why didn't you do more to keep him in your system? What's the deal there? But no, really talented, good kid, good family. So always fun to see, kids from Allen end up going pro.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he wasn't ready at Colorado at the time. And development-wise, maybe he wasn't. There's some guys who have transferred out of Colorado that are actually – a few guys ended up being drafted in this draft. I think maybe there was some other issues going on at Colorado.
Oh, geez, he was throwing up?
No, he was crying. Yeah, I think
I just saw a big old ball of
very emotional.
I think he's got snot bubbles or something from crying. I think he was so overwhelmed with emotion. Yeah. He's gonna regret his cry face of the draft.
No, I mean that's what you like to see. Now we'll probably have to update the Allen Mount Rushmore here in a little bit. It's going to be Carly Patterson, gold medalist in 08, all-round gymnast. Kyler Murray. You can put Jordan Tyson in there, and then of course me, right? So there's the new updated Allen Mount Rushmore.
The young prodigy.
Pretty damn good right there. That's pretty damn good. No, I'm happy for the young man. You can tell, man, it means a lot to him. Good for him. It's a dream.
Yeah, now take all these photos with you, snot and tears in your eyes.
Man, I got to tell you, I love that. I mean, this game obviously means so much to him, and being drafted in the top 8 is, I mean, what kid wouldn't be doing? I mean, you grow up in a state like Texas where football is so big, and you achieve your dream of not only getting the NFL, being a top 10 draft pick. Yeah, I'm sure I love to see it. He's overcome with emotion, and imagine the work he's put in to get to this point.
Coach, did you let a couple tears drop when Jordan's name was called?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. When you're a 3rd round draft pick, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I was laughing because he was fishing. We were at a ranch outside of Vernon. He was fishing, nervous and everything. And he walks in and said, "I just got drafted," And I said, "Who'd you get drafted by?" And he said the Cincinnati Bengals. I just got off the phone with the head coach. And I go, because we're not NFL people,
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, what's his name?" He said, "I have no idea."
Is that Marv Lewis?
Yeah, Marvin Lewis. Yeah,
That's good.
Marvin Lewis.
I
Yeah.
love it. I have no idea, but he won't.
I have no idea, but I just got the phone with him.
And he stepped into that receiving room. What was it? It was Ocho, and was
Yeah.
TJ Hushmanzada, was he still around?
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. He's got some good stories, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Great stories on Ocho and those
man.
guys. Yeah.
Oh, Coach, CB wants to know do you know who was Jordan's host on his visit? That's a good question.
David Thomas from Friendship High School, tight end. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's money.
Yeah. Good dude, man. Good dude.
Oh man. Oh,
they knew Jordan wasn't a partier. They put him with a calm guy,
I think they do that a lot. They know. That's what I'm saying. They know who to put with who. They know.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. They did. They put him with a guy who wasn't going to go out clubbing because Jordan wasn't going to get into the clubbing scene.
Yeah, Mac is a good judge of personalities and characters, so he knows about that guy.
Yeah.
Jeff Howell joining us. What's up, Jeff? How you feeling, brother?
What's going on, everybody? The Cowboys are coming up, so I'm prepared to be mad or disappointed or something related. Came on just in time.
I'm right there with you. Any big surprises so far? We were talking a little bit about Carnell Tate going number 4. Did that surprise you a little?
Didn't expect him to go that early. Honestly, Mansour Delane, the Chiefs trading up to I know they just traded Trent McDuffie. They must really I haven't looked at their cornerback depth chart. Well, it must be really shallow if you're giving away 3rd round draft capital to move up to get a corner.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm just ready for. I've seen some stuff in the comments. I'm not overly excited about this draft either. Just because other than Mendoza, like you're not going to have the run of quarterbacks. There's not really that. It's a good offensive tackle draft, not a great tackle draft. You've got some pass rushers, but just nothing's really. I don't know, guys. It's hard for me to see and I could look stupid saying this. It's just hard for me to see franchise defining guys in this draft. I think you've got some really good players, but it's hard for me to envision any of these guys being, multiple time All-Pro, Hall of Fame caliber guys.
Well, there's something in there. You just don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah. There's no slam dunk.
Exactly. I say usually you're like, oh no, this guy again. I would say that a lot of guys are. I mean, Nick Saban started talking about gold jacket stuff with Caleb Downs. I would just say that he has multiple times they start talking about gold jacket stuff with him. I'm not saying he's that good, but Nick Saban thinks that kind of stuff. So he may be one of those guys. Who knows? But they just drafted 2. Now you got 2 offensive tackles going back to back. Jeff, as soon as Jeff comes on, linemen start getting drafted.
What are you talking about, man? That's how it is.
Got two of them back to back here for the Browns. So it won't happen, guys. We will not have 3 Ohio State players drafted in the top 10.
Man, I can't rag on Ryan Day for that, Rod.
No, you can't, bro. So Cowboys might get Caleb Downs dropping right into their lap.
They 4 in the top 12.
It's the most
let the
obvious.
pigs fly.
It would be the most obvious pick, which is why they won't do it.
They're gonna pick a lineman or something. Jeff's gonna throw something. Jeff, remove everything that you are willing to throw around you. Okay, so I don't want you to throw something that's valuable that you could break. You know.
Are there any offensive linemen named Tyler in this draft? Because they're going at number 12.
Yep, they do love offensive lineman named Tyler. That is also true.
I don't like seeing NFC East teams make good picks, and I really like Francis Mauigoa.
I was going to say, does that not just scream John Harbaugh picks with Francis, and you go back up and what they did earlier in this draft, picking the big edge rusher out of Ohio State as well, Arvell Reese. I mean, that just screams, oh, shoot, now all of a sudden the Giants are competent again.
Well, gentlemen, the Dallas football Cowboys are now on the clock after making the trade with the Dolphins. Here we go.
That's because they knew. They saw it. Nah, they should have traded into the top 10, but I get it. You can't trade. The Giants ain't going to want to trade with you, so.
I'm wondering, based on their needs, it could be Caleb Downs, just best player on the board, which I wouldn't mind.
Easy.
Is this Reuben Bain by any chance?
No. You could. You could go Reuben Bain. I'd say no, but you could. He's still a good player on the board. You're right. I could go Reuben.
They're trading up. I gotta think it's for Downs.
I would take Downs over Bain if I was them, but
Dallas Cowboys pick is in.
Oh, it's in, baby.
Rod,
the nervous.
The pick's coming in faster than we
first of all, they shortened the time. They used to have like 10 minutes. Now they have 8. But I'm with you. Even with that 8, Jeff, they're still coming in quicker. They're not using all the allotted time. They usually use more. I agree with you on that.
All right, I'm muting you guys until the Cowboys pick.
I forgot both of y'all Cowboys fans. Y'all nervous out here.
I'm getting sweaty, Rod. I don't like it.
Let's say y'all nervous out here, man.
It was going to make or break my Sunday 17 times out of a year with this pick alone.
They can't screw this up. This is too easy.
Oh, brother.
Caleb Downs is one of those picks that, like, I know he didn't test well at the combine, but I don't care.
I don't care.
The eye test is good enough for me. Nick Saban vouching for him is good enough for me, which makes me even wonder, that's why I'm confident now the Cowboys won't do it.
Jeff, as long as it's not a Michigan defensive lineman, the Cowboys can't mess it up that bad, right?
Hey, the taco period commenced, CJ, and it was quite unremarkable with Taco Charlton's.
What about Mozzie Smith? Come on.
He got traded, didn't he?
Good riddance to him. I know producer Matthew is cracking up.
Stop drafting Michigan guys.
Yeah.
What you got against Michigan guys, man?
I don't have anything against Michigan guys. Just the Cowboys seem to draft the wrong ones.
The ones you drafted. Yeah, lost me. I'll say this about Caleb Downs at safety. Safety is one of those rare positions, and I usually wouldn't say this about data points and evaluations and scouting. I don't know if there's a position where athleticism matters less than safety. It's crazy. Y'all know RAS score, so relative athletic score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so y'all want to know what Ed Reed inside of 10? Y'all want to know what Ed Reed's RAS was?
Like a
9.8.
6.5.
What?
6.5. Y'all want to know what Earl Thomas RAS was?
He had one of the worst ones, right?
5.07.
Yeah.
Huh.
Instincts matter way more at safety than overall athleticism. There's a baseline you need to have, but I'm telling you, go look at RAS scores of some of your best safeties. I think that's changing a little bit because now you're asking safeties to do more, right? So when some of these freaky guys that can do more, but Caleb Downs has proven he can do all those things, and he's got that baseline athleticism. But go look at some of your RAS scores for safeties. There's some of the for your elite players. Their elite players have some of the lowest relative athletic scores that I've ever seen. There's no doubt, and it's something about the safety position in that translation. That's why you can be an aging DB and they put you at safety. Because recognition and diagnosis of pattern recognition, diagnosing of formations and personnel groupings, that matters so much at safety, and instincts matter so much at safety. And you can do that as you sharpen those throughout your years as a DB, and you can lose your speed, lose some of your quickness. But as long as you're diagnosing quickly, you still have football speed at safety because you have more time for the play to develop. And if you're a young player, it's pretty easy. If that guy's got good instincts, he can play safety at the next level, even if his physical traits aren't elite. But it's all about the instincts. Earl Thomas instantly was able to translate, and most of those guys do. But you see at the college level instantly. Like, it's not hard to tell early on that a safety has great instincts.
Probably the two best examples of what you're talking about, Rod. I think we talked about it on this. I know we talked about it in the Blitz days and on Football Theory. Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson, probably the two best examples of what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Hall of Fame corners that went and were all pro safeties.
Yep. Yeah. That's why Taft. That's why Taft has a chance. Yeah, Taft. He has great football IQ and pattern recognition in terms of football, like routes and everything like that, and then diagnosing clues. And I always say being a football investigator, like, he's really good at that. That's why Taft, even though athletically he's a little underrated. I don't even know what his RAS score is, but you don't need elite athleticism at safety. You just need elite instincts at safety.
I feel like I don't know about y'all, but and again, this is freezing cold take stuff. What the kind of stuff I just said, maybe no Hall of Fame level players. I mean, I have 4 Hall of Famers in this first round. I feel like the 2 safest picks in this draft, if I was a GM, I think the 2 safest picks are Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs. Like, to me, I have no doubt that those guys are going to play in this league for a long time at a pretty high level.
I like that take. I'm a big Arvell Reese fan.
I like that take too. Good take.
We need to get back from commercials so we can get over what the Cowboys do here.
They did this on purpose. Jerry was like, go to commercial. Can we get a commercial in there? I want the drama surrounding the Dallas Cowboys.
You see Bill Clinton showed up to the press conference today?
Yeah, and Jerry almost fell.
Is he going to be in the war room? I mean, what's going on here?
Why did Jerry almost fall trying to get up to go greet Bill Clinton?
Too excited.
And they had to watch Jerry, man. Jerry might break a hip. That's not.
He's so excited for anything that's not football related. All right, looks like this pick is in. I'm going on mute. Y'all will see my live reaction to how bad this goes.
What they give? Okay, they didn't give up too much. All right, let's go.
They didn't give up a 3, did they? Are they about to tell us what the trade was?
They put it up there already.
Okay.
So I don't think he gave up too.
Couldn't have been that much just to move up.
Gave up 2/5. You traded spots and gave it 2/5. That's not.
Well, they got like 7 fifths, so it's
It's Caleb Downs, baby. Yeah. Good job, Cowboys. You can't screw that up.
Screw it up.
You can't screw that up. Like, it's just you can't screw it up. Yeah.
They did not screw this up.
Yeah, that was it's too easy. It was too easy. Oh, Dre Blind. Is Blizz there? Okay, Blizz. What is the Dre Blind connection for Caleb Downs? Now I gotta wonder. Let's see Dre Blind. I was like, what's the Dre Blind connection? Because I played with Dre Blind. Love me some Blizz. I know he was coaching, but I don't know where he is coaching. That's interesting. I think this was too easy, man. Like I said, that Caleb Downs, Nick Saban. I want to get the Nick Saban quote out about Caleb Downs. He basically said that Caleb Downs would have been the first safety drafted after his freshman year at Bama. He said that's what he was. I guess that's either he was told or that's just his opinion. Not sure which one, but either way, that's a pretty lofty opinion. And he might be the best pure football player in the draft. Speaking of instincts, he probably got the best instincts in the draft of a defender, too.
Yes, Marcus, they did it. By the way, Rod, Dre Bly is Caleb Downs' uncle.
Get the hell out of here. What? What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That's a crazy athletic family.
I probably heard that and filed it away, but yeah, that's
wow. Did not know that. Learned something new. Thank you for that, Jeff.
Whoa.
Rod, how many years have I what's up, CJ?
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
What'd you do, CJ? What happened?
It's not this pick, it's the next.
The Rams?
Whoever's at 13, Rod.
What the Rams do? Oh, the Rams are always making moves. What the Rams do?
Oh boy. Again, I gotta see what the Dolphins do here first. But the problem with having too many notifications on my phone is that things just pop up. I think I have a notification every 20 seconds, but I saw one for what the Rams are about to do at 13. And let me tell you, I don't get surprised very often. This was a surprise.
I'm trying to think what that could be for the
I've tried to stay off the Twitter machine, CJ, but now I've got to.
I've been off.
I had to get my freezing cold take out there, Jeff, and
I've been out. I've been off of it. I wanted to try to focus on the draft, but now TJ's got me intrigued. Because the Rams are an intriguing team. They made moves to get the secondary shored up this offseason, so it ain't secondary help they need.
Oh boy, who are the Dolphins going with here?
Boy,
ooh,
did you see it too, Jeff?
To the Dolphins, whoever they pick, it doesn't matter. Whoever the Rams pick, it matters because the Rams are like top 5 best teams in the league. So if the Rams make a pick of a guy that could be a game changer in the franchise, it's an oh-ish moment for everybody else in the league. So that's why the Ram pick matters. Because the Rams,
I'm gonna reach for this T in honor of what the Rams allegedly have done here in the first round. Man, I was just gonna make a point about something draft related, but Rod, I remember what I was gonna say now. My apologies. You and I have talked for years, and I've told you how one of my big complaints with the Cowboys is they don't value the safety position. Like they haven't valued it at all.
That's true. You're right.
This is the kind of change of pace I've been waiting for, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Go get a guy that I think, again, right there with Arvell Reese, I think he's the safest pick in the draft.
Yeah, what was the last time they drafted a safety in the first round? I don't know that Byron was it
Roy Williams?
Yeah.
Roy Williams?
You're right. That was it. You're right. Yeah. I agree with you on that. This one, like I said, the Caleb Downs thing was too easy, man. Like that was gift wrap to you as if you're a Cowboys fan. And he's a hybrid player in a hybrid league.
Which by the way, Rod, I watched the Cowboys did an in-house documentary on the draft where they took Roy Williams. I don't know why they felt the need to do one on the 0-2 draft, but I didn't mind. But because Jam was pretty high on their board too, and they had Jam and Roy Williams like neck and neck. The Cowboys did, and obviously Jam went to the Lions, but what put it over the top and why they had Roy Williams higher on their board, I don't know if you remember, Rod, but Roy Williams had that Cotton Bowl against Arkansas, which is it's one of the best it's right up there with Ndamukong Suh's game against Texas as one of the most dominant games I've seen a college football defensive player have just in one game. Like he was all over the field. But that was fascinating to watch that. Just remember because Texas had 2 go in the top 5. Jam went in the top 5, and so did Mike Williams. Yeah,
no, you're right about that. I forgot about that. Actually, 2 guys in the top 5 that year. Man. Yeah, Roy Williams. He was a linebacker that was playing stuff. But he had great instincts, though. That's what I say. What about safety? Instincts. He had great instincts. Remember, even to the point where Bob Stoops told him on that Superman.
Don't jump. Told him not to jump.
He told his dude. Head coach came up to you. Don't jump, dude. I've been seeing you jump. You do it all the time. Don't jump. Don't do it. Dude walked away from his coach from the sideline and jumped anyway. That's instincts right there at safety. You can't teach that, dude. He's just a playmaker.
Hey, I just want to point out that since I've joined the broadcast of the 4 picks that have been announced, 3 of them have been offensive linemen and the other one was the Cowboys. So I'm on a roll here, fellas.
No, you are.
Jeff, it's funny talking about Roy Williams on the Cowboys. That was my first ever favorite player for the Cowboys.
Evil Roy Williams.
And funny enough, I only have one Cowboys jersey. I've only had one Cowboys jersey over the last 15 years of my life.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at that. Look at CJ going to the Wayback Machine on that.
The Wayback Machine.
That's still in good shape, too.
Yeah, because I don't wear it.
Well, that thing still it's pristine right there, man. You need to get it signed there. You might as well get it signed.
Got the mesh, man.
You need to find out where Roy Williams, evil Roy Williams, is going to be and get that thing signed. Also why I hate Roy Williams, he ended up marrying, later divorcing, Kelly Rowland.
Yeah, that's right.
One of my childhood crushes from Destiny Child, an actual childhood crush. One I actually knew. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I ain't like
Rod? Roy Williams, I saw him tape of him. I think he went to the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. You could tell why the way that guy played the game, it has caught up to him at this point in his life, and which is no surprise. Like you talk about a guy that just had no regard for his body or anybody else's. It's one of the unfortunate drawbacks of the game. But it's funny, CJ, like Roy Williams. I'll stop talking about evil Roy Williams after this, I promise. But like the rules basically retired Roy Williams from football. Yep. Like when they eliminated, like he's the reason why they have the horse collar penalty now. The late hits, launching yourself, like basically the rules legislated all his tools away from him, where he just basically became a big safety that couldn't cover anybody.
Yep, I agree. That's a great point. I agree 100% about that. And now you don't even see those types of safeties don't exist no more. This is actually going to be a really good draft for safeties. You might get 3 in the first round. I mean, I'm not sure. You got one already near the top 10 at 11. You might get 3. And it's a really good draft for safety. It's one of the deepest positions in the draft, but none of them are like the old school evil Roy Williams safeties. They're all like those guys get moved to linebacker now early on in their career. Like, nah, dude, you're a linebacker. Go.
Like Chuck Cecil. one of Coach Akina's favorite DBs. Chuck Cecil has no place in the defensive backfield.
Steve Atwater? Who's Steve Atwater? Oh man.
Well, you talk about a bad mofo. Steve Atwater.
Oh man. He used to lay the hammer down. All right.
He knocked Christian Okoye out.
Oh, the Nigerian Nightmare?
Nigerian Nightmare.
Wow.
Hey, by the way, I'll say this too.
That's right. I remember this. I think I've seen this hit. I think I've seen that.
Yeah. To bring it back to Texas, as good as Roy Williams' Cotton Bowl was against Arkansas in 2002, the real Roy Williams, his Cotton Bowl the following year against LSU was much better.
The real Roy Williams and the evil Roy Williams.
Real Roy Williams.
No, I know. But the only leg up the evil Roy Williams has on the real Roy Williams is that evil Roy Williams, like basically real Roy Williams, never scored a touchdown.
Yeah. In
his time competing against evil Roy Williams and the Oklahoma Sooners, like not once. That's crazy. That's insane.
But like everybody in the chat, if you haven't watched it, go to the YouTube machine, whatever you got to do. Go find Roy Williams against LSU in the 2003 Cotton Bowl. Corey Webster ended up being like a Pro Bowl corner, and it looked like the varsity wide receiver getting covered by the corner on the freshman team.
Hey,
like it was,
you can ask about that, Jeff. You can ask Muschamp about it.
Yeah, because Will Muschamp was there to watch. Roy Williams just run to the end zone all day.
Just running through that. By the way, that team wasn't bad. Won the national title the next year. So that was a damn good team. That was my last game in Texas. That was an awesome game. All right, before we move on, let's thank we're waiting on the Rams pick. Let's thank one of our sponsors. Thank our friends over at Von Lane really quickly before we move on. We appreciate our friends at Von Lane for sponsoring our in-draft live watch. We appreciate them, and they've been great partners of ours, folks. They'll be a great partner to you as well. A lot of you folks out there, whether it be business or personal, you're still driving those short routes in between major Texas cities or around the region, or maybe you're flying those shorter routes in between major Texas cities and dealing with the airport chaos and dealing with TSA and security lines and delayed flights, and you don't have to worry about that because traveling is stressful enough. Our friends at Von Lane, they deliver a first-class travel experience on the ground. You board in minutes at a private hotel terminal. You sell into one of just 22 oversized leather seats. You enjoy complimentary Wi-Fi, snacks, beverages, and hot towel service on every trip. And on select departures, they even have full meals. Also, they've upgraded their entire fleet with Starlink internet, so now the Wi-Fi is faster and more reliable. Von Lane serves Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Fort Worth, Plano, the Woodlands, Nashville, Memphis, Atlanta, and Knoxville. And if you're traveling with a team or a group, you can charter your own Von Lane coach and design the trip from pickup to drop off. Visit vonlane.com. That's VONLANE.com. And if you're riding for the first time, you can enter the code OTF26 at checkout to receive $20 off your first ride with Von Lane. That's Von Lane, your private jet on wheels. Thank you very much to our friends over at Von Lane. I highly recommend it. I've taken it several times myself to Houston, to Dallas. My wife has taken it too. We love the Von Lane service. All right, Rams, the pick is in. I want to know what the Rams are up to because of all these teams that are picking early. I know the Chiefs should be in that discussion too. Whoever they pick has a chance to be on not only a playoff team, but a team that could potentially be a championship contender. So be interesting to see what the Rams do here. And the Rams don't pick a lot of times early on. Remember, because they're the F those picks guys, especially first round picks guys, and they usually don't do this. So the immediacy and the urgency of it has got everybody intrigued.
I hope for the Cowboys' sake, because this pick of Caleb Downs it reminds me of the Micah Parsons draft, where you just kind of stood pat, just waited your turn, let the chaos play out in front of you, and small trade to move up one spot, but you ended up with the guy you really wanted all along. So yeah, I love it, man. I love it. I'm happy with the Cowboys' first round pick.
I am too. It feels rare to say that, but I'm with it. This Rams pick, I've been waiting a pretty minute for it to come in officially.
Yeah, they took all the time. Usually teams were like going quicker. They took all the time.
They took the entire time, plus a commercial break, only 2 picks in between the last commercial break. So they're trying to build up the suspense for exactly that. The pick is in, and it's
Tyson. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I did not expect the Rams, 1, to make this move, and 2, for Tyson to go this early.
Okay. Now, I thought the Love thing, Jeremiah Love, and then Carnell Tate being the first Ohio State player were the 2 big surprises. This is easily the biggest surprise of this draft. It's not even close, and nothing will top this, by the way. Nothing will top this.
No.
Now, there was some that had him going in the first round, but not this early in the first round, and the Rams trading up to go get him. Or the Rams making this move. I don't know. It's weird. It's strange.
I don't like this pick.
That's a strange pick.
Only 15 career starts, 14 career starts. And that back half of the season was anything but pretty. I know that he was dinged up. He battled some injuries. I believe he had a punctured lung or something like that against Indiana. But you start looking at some of these games, some of the throws, some of really just the decision-making that he had. I wasn't a huge fan.
Wow. I'm not going to lie to you.
He was 12 of 16 against Indiana in the Rose Bowl for 67 yards. And he's not a guy that runs the football. So he doesn't have mobility, doesn't stretch plays out. The most rushing yards he had in a single game a year ago was 31. He had 93 rushing yards on 90 attempts and only 2 rushing touchdowns. Those rushing touchdowns came against ULM and Georgia. So I guess that one pretty significant. But altogether, you need to have a clean pocket, and you need to be able to have wide receivers that can get open, both of which sounds like the Rams have. So we'll see. But right now, you're going to have Matt Stafford sit around for a year or two, make sure he's ready to rock and roll.
So this is because remember last year, this is part of the Rams. I was looking at what the Rams traded. So they traded out of their pick in the first round of 2025 for this pick, essentially. Remember, they received a 2nd-round pick and a 7th-round pick and a 2026 first-round pick, this pick. And the Falcons received a 2025 first-round pick, theirs, and a 3rd-round pick. And this has solidified, essentially, that trade. Man, I'm surprised. I've got a lot of respect for Sean McVay. Matter of fact, among the top offensive minds that Sark looks at each and every offseason, Sean McVay is in that conversation, along with Shano and a few other select few, right? I'm sure Andy Reid and some other guys. But he actually has a relationship with Sean McVay and actually goes to visit the Rams and stuff like that. But it's the one thing I'll say about Ty Simpson. I looked this up that I think worked against him that people didn't realize. Alabama, like receivers, they didn't help him out at all.
No.
Bama had 32 drops last season. They had the 2nd most drops in the country. That's a lot of drops.
Half of them coming from Ryan Williams, basically.
yeah, exactly. Big plays. Down the field. Because nobody in this draft class had more yards passing on intermediate routes, 10 to 20 yards. So we're talking about your digs, your seams, your curls, your corner routes, those intermediate routes. And he had over 1,100 yards on those top routes. And I remember some of those drops by Ryan Williams, and they were on some critical downfield throws. Bama also run game was terrible, 65th in yards per rush. I say terrible, average. 65th in, but for Bama, that's terrible. 65th in yards per rush at 4.2, and yards per attempt on passes behind the line of scrimmage, they were 25th at 5.7. So he didn't get a lot of help in yak opportunities from wide receivers. Didn't get a lot of help from the run game. Didn't get a lot of help from wide receivers being sure-handed. That all worked against Ty Simpson. So I'll throw that out there. And so maybe he's a perfect fit. I believe you blessed 32, 205. Maybe he's the right fit for the system, and they do need a quarterback of the future, and they got it.
You know, the way this makes sense to me is if McVay had a really high grade on this guy, and Matt Stafford's already told them this is it for him. 2026 will be his last year.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and draft the guy now, because they're probably not going to be high enough to get whatever your quarterback pecking order is next year. Arch, Dante Moore, whoever it is, you're not going to be high enough to go get a franchise guy next year. So you might as well go get your guy now. I hate reaching for quarterbacks, but everybody does this all the time. Sean McVay is not immune from it. I respect Kyle Shanahan as much as any offensive mind in the game, but he traded draft picks to move up for Trey Lance. Now he's also the guy that drafted Brock Purdy and found a franchise quarterback with the last pick in the draft. So it just goes to show you, man, still, even at this level, that position is a complete crapshoot.
It is. I agree. And it's just, and I wouldn't doubt if like I said, the Rams, I'm with you. They definitely have a plan like this. There's no doubt. And Sean McVay at this point should earn the benefit of the doubt. But it's definitely a surprise. Okay. So here's the quarterbacks. I looked at the round one quarterbacks drafted, and looks like the pick for another offensive lineman. See, man, Jeff has just got the run started.
Look at that. The Ravens just made a good, smart, solid pick. Shocker of the night.
The Ravens, honestly, what happened to the Cowboys usually happens to the Ravens. Well, the Ravens just sit there, and then like one of the best players in the draft just falls. The Ravens are like, oh, you know what? We'll take the best defensive player in the draft. That's how the Ravens are. So here's first-round quarterbacks since 2000 with fewer than 600 career pass attempts. Drafted in the first round, right since 2000. Cam Newton, Mike Vick, Trey Lance, Anthony Richardson, Mark Sanchez, Kyler Murray, now Ty Simpson, Mac Jones, Achilles Smith, Mitch Trubisky, Carson Wentz, Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins. How many you got as a hit rate on there? Cam Newton, Mike Vick. Mark Sanchez did go to an AFC title game, didn't he?
He was kind of the bus driver, though, for those Jets teams.
But fumble, yeah. He's kind of a half, so 2.5. Kyler Murray, to be determined. We're not sure on Kyler Murray. Mac Jones. Who? Mac Jones. I don't like him anyway. That's Alex Smith. Sorry. Alex Smith. Right? Alex Smith wasn't a bust.
No, Alex Smith had a good, solid career, and he gets
Carson
bumped.
Wentz is kind of another half guy. Like, I don't know what he's not a bust, but he definitely wasn't a success.
Yeah.
So so it's not, my point is it's a low hit rate. Cam Newton, Mike Vick, Mark Sanchez, maybe still on Kyler Murray. Mac Jones started for some time. Alex Smith, I think, is a hit rate too. So not many hits on quarterbacks who have fewer than 600 career pass attempts and drafted in the first round. But if anybody can do it, Sean McVay can do it. Sean McVay made Jared Goff go from a bust, don't forget this, to a guy that ended up being on the verge of winning a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then traded him because he was exposed by Bill Belichick for being Jared Goff, and then traded him away, to the Detroit Lions for Matt Stafford. And then Jared Goff goes on to become a franchise quarterback with Detroit, and he ends up getting a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So he knows what he's doing. I'll have some faith in him, man.
I got a funny number because it's not my team having to pay for this number. Jeremiah Love is now owed $50,537,014 in his guaranteed money for being picked third overall.
Running back.
No running back contract in the history of the NFL has guaranteed that much money before.
Wow.
And he's getting it all before he plays a single snap.
And he's 20. So he's got to be the youngest, too. The youngest at 20 years old. Damn. Good for him.
Yeah. Hope it pans out.
I guess it's good for the running back market, though, isn't it? I guess overall.
He for the Cardinals' sake, he better be Saquon Barkley. he better be early career Zeke.
Yep.
You're taking him that high.
They better have an offensive line up there to.
Yeah, and Yeah, if you end up re-signing him, technically, I guess you get more years out of him before he hits his peak. Most running backs hit their peak around 26, 27, hit their peak. So you can get a second, most basically maybe 2 contracts out of him before he hits his peak since he's so young. But I'm with you. It's still, yeah, it's risky. It's risky at the running back position. There's no doubt. It's a lot of money. Thank you for the super chat, Kelly. We appreciate it. Says Rod, CJ, and Jeff. Love you guys. Love you as well, Kelly. Appreciate that. Turn the sound off on the TV. Love to watch with us. We appreciate that. I know that we're going to test it out this year because we know next year Longhorns going to be well represented. It'll be 4, 5 Longhorns drafted first round. So work out the kinks this year with the live watch, and then next year we'll have the full crew, everybody, and we'll have been troubleshooting all the issues, and we'll have it more streamlined for you. That's the goal.
It may be such a celebration next year. I may be half in the bag by this point in the first round. Who knows?
We might be drinking on air. I'm not gonna lie to you. Next year, it may. I'm not as long especially if it goes as we expect. Like you talking about, Arch does the Joe Burrow, Cam Newton special where he's Heisman championship, and then you're gonna be number 1 overall. It might be just a straight up party at that point. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody told me that I don't know if it's real. I thought maybe it was fake news. When is Indiana spring game?
Right now. So
yes. Okay, it wasn't fake news. It's real, right?
It kicked off the minute the Raiders were set up to be on the clock.
That's brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. You should steal that idea. Sorry. Yeah, if Arch is gonna go number 1 overall, man, let's have because he's basically gonna make it a watch party. They're gonna have a spring game watch party to watch Mendoza get drafted number 1 overall first. I think for like the first time in 32 years they've got a first round pick. Like that's crazy. So they're gonna have like a party. So honestly, it's something to look at. CDC. That'd be a nice little thing to rip off and duplicate, as you always say. All right, but thank you. We appreciate that, Kelly Hill. Thank you very much. All right. Buccaneers pick is in. All right.
I hope everybody's noticing with this run on offensive linemen and you look at everybody's needs. O-line is on everybody's needs. I hope everybody now is starting to realize what I realized a couple years ago, Rod. The development at that position in football has never been worse than it is right now.
Yep.
Developing offensive linemen. It's never been worse.
We talked about that on that podcast, right? The Get Got pod. They brought that up as a topic. And so I don't know if Sark agreed, like actually on the spot, but essentially he implied that there's an issue with O-line development.
Ruben Bain to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, with those short arms?
Short arms, Ruben Bain.
Man, those arms are really short. I like Ruben Bain, but the arms are short. Here's how short his arms are. Shortest arms for a first-round pick in 20 years.
Jeez.
And no player with less than 31-inch arms has had a double-digit sack season in the last 20 years.
Well, has he got like Tyler Hansbrough arms? Like, what are we talking about?
They're 30 and 7/8. So it's under 31 inches. I would say, but it's not. Michael Parsons at 31 and a half. So you still can do freaky things with short. He's only been a short arm guy too. Michael doesn't have ridiculously long arms. Trey Hendrickson, I think, is one of those guys that doesn't have long arms. He's at 32, but 30 is really. But he makes up for it in other ways. He's got a really strong core. He's got I think really strong like lower half because he can kind of manhandle guys sometimes at the point of attack. So I like Ruben Bain, and he can bump inside at times too. Because he's not like a pure speed rusher off the edge. So,
by the way, I mentioned it a second ago. If you ever want to know what a T-Rex looks like trying to dunk a basketball, go watch some old Tyler Hansbrough tape.
But that's Ruben Bain. Did you talk to that crate? That's Ruben Bain. I don't know if his arms look short. Is he there?
Yeah, he is.
His arms do look short. They do kind of look short.
That handshake with Goodell, I mean, it's just going to be – it's going to look like this probably.
If I'm Ruben Bain's people, I'm going all in on the T-Rex bit. That's how I'm marketing myself.
He's got the 4th shortest arms for an edge this century.
This century?
That's at the combine.
Jeez.
The shortest by a first-round edge rusher since 2003.
So, yeah.
But hey, if you can bend, and get around the edge,
he does have bend. There's no doubt about it. Like he has bend, and he led Power 4 edge rushers in quarterback hurries. He had 68. The next closest, I believe, was like with 50 something. Second best pass rush win rate in this class has, like I said, you said good bend. If you look at 38% pass rush win rate on outside moves, so he's really good as an outside pass rusher. But I think he's more of a power rusher than he is like a speed rusher from the outside. So I like him as a player. He's got hell of a. He plays with a lot of effort too. Plays with like this maniacal effort. He ends up in a fight a lot of times. When he's up multiple times, you'll see him just fighting with guys during the game. I kind of like that. Like if you stall like stalemate him, he'll just start fighting. Like he'll just start kind of like just going at it. Like because he gets so frustrated. But I kind of like that. Rocky says, "Hey Rod, what was your experience on draft day?" We thank you, Rocky Poole. We appreciate the super chat. We talked about it. Like a lot of guys, I say most guys watching the draft have the same experience. Everybody thinks they should have been drafted higher. So I got drafted 123rd overall. So of course I thought I should have been drafted higher. A lot of guys that were drafted ahead of me, I thought I was better than. Whether that's true or not, I'm sure that's how every player thinks who's not drafted number 1 overall. Thinks in the NFL draft. But I was at home in Houston with mom and dad, just kicking it. I was wide. I got a couple of warnings from my agent, Jim Steiner at the time, that, hey, Rod B, this team is thinking about you, like late in the 3rd round. That'll become the case. And I knew I wasn't going like in the 1st or the 2nd. I knew I was going to be like a 3rd or a 4th round guy. I thought 3rd round would be the round I'd be drafted in. So I started getting some warnings that, hey, this team says that it's either you and this other guy. All right. So he by the phone, be ready to go. I got that a couple of times from my agent. And then finally the New York Giants, which, by the way, the Giants were great because I had been working out in Jersey with Sims. Phil Sims owned like a training facility way before everybody started training guys for the combine. Now it's like a niche industry, like $1 billion industry now. But this was before all that, and I was training up there, and there were some players training up there in that facility, and there were like Giants like strength and conditioning coaches and some of the coaches. I got to know some of the Giants staff, and I think probably through degrees of separation, they kind of thought they vetted me a little bit and they needed a corner, so they drafted me. So it was pretty good. I mean, that was a lot of the times you'll be surprised how often degrees of separation end up influencing these decisions to draft these guys. Like they know one of your coaches from college, or they know somebody, they know somebody, or that kind of thing. You'd be surprised how often that is a big factor in the evaluation.
Oh, the Jets are going to jet.
The Jets, Jets. Hey, Sadiq is a freak, though. Like, he's physically. I mean, but I wouldn't draft him that high.
I just want to point out again how wheels off the draft was back in Rod's day, because Rod went 123 overall in the 4th round. You go to pick 98. The Cincinnati Bengals took Dennis Weathersby, really good corner prospect out of Oregon State, who got shot leading up to the draft. And the Bengals
we've already discussed it. Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, next hour.
Again, that a guy that got shot was drafted ahead of me. He was in a hospital bed.
Talent, so
yeah. Thank you. I was trying to leave that little tidbit out.
They were looking for value, I guess.
Around pick number 26, we'll make sure to revisit that nugget again.
No, please. I think we should be done with that. I left that out on purpose. I thought to bring it up. I was like, I'm not gonna bring it up. And then Jeff was like, damn it.
I got my feelings hurt though, because I was trying to find some literature from when the Giants drafted Rod, and I ended up on some random Giants blog that called Rod like one of the worst 10 picks the Giants had like in the last 15 years or something. Because like Brandon Lloyd went with the next pick. We could have Brandon Lloyd. We took the corner out of Texas. I'm gonna find this guy. Like, why y'all doing my guy Rod B like that? Like, was Brandon Lloyd gonna be that big of a piece that you got to dump on Rod?
I don't know. It would have probably been a better pick than picking Rod B. But no, the Dennis Weathersby thing that hurt. That really did. I remember watching it live and thinking to myself, I remember that dude got shot.
Yeah, like
he's in a hospital. He got shot.
Can you imagine if that happened?
I don't know what the circumstances was, but he got shot.
Can you imagine if that happened today? Like,
Gotcha.
You're not taking the guy that got shot in the 4th round in 2026. There's no way.
That's a great point. I don't know how good he was. Like, he was okay, but he wasn't great.
He would have to. He'd have to take him off the board, right? The man got shot. There's no way you're
like, if it was close, you'd be like, hey, you know what? Let's take Rod B over the guy that got shot 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, even if he was a victim, and we don't know what was going on there. All right, victim, but it's still gonna take him a while to recover from getting shot. Okay, so you would think go with the other guy, but
okay. So according to the all reliable source that is Wikipedia, 3 days before the draft, he was shot in the back when he and his friend were mistaken for gang members. By a rival.
I'm not saying anything. That's messed up. All right, he was mistaken. How do you get mistaken for a gang member though? Exactly. That's unfortunate. That's sad. That's all right. It's not. My point is, either way, good player. I'm sure. I'm glad he's fine. I'm glad he wasn't serious. He did end up with some life-threatening injuries. But I should have been drafted ahead of the guy that got shot. That's all I'm saying.
Are you reflecting back, Rod, thinking, hey, maybe that guy had a little bit more dog in him than you?
Obviously, his dog meter was definitely higher than mine.
Had to be.
Yeah, he survived getting shot and then went to training camp. Obviously, like weeks after being shot, when you go to, there's a mystique around you. When you get shot and then go to training camp.
Yeah.
Ryan
Robinson.
Yeah, your street cred goes through the roof. I can tell you that right there.
Ricky Pearsall.
Speaking of NFL career, the Lions are on the clock right now.
Oh man,
I will always love and appreciate Matt Millen because he got my guy Rod paid for a few years. So
no, I love Matt Millen. He was one of the only GMs to draft 4. I think he drafted wide receivers in 4 out of 5 drafts or something, like in the first round.
Yeah,
I want to say he went like either 4 straight or 4 out of 5.
Rod, from what you told me, weren't you partly responsible for the Lions taking Roy Williams?
Well, I don't know, but we had a lot of Longhorns on the team at the time. We had C. Red, we had Sean Rogers, myself. All right. And honestly, I don't know if we had anything to do with it, but they had just drafted a wide receiver. All right. Charles Rogers. In the first round. Oh, man. Was that 2000? It was my year.
Yeah, 2003. Yep.
2003 was my year.
Michigan State.
Yeah. But he was so frail. Like he was tall, but he was slight. I mean, like his you could see like his shoulders would like come out over his chest. Like his chest was sunken in. I'm not making that up. And he was just very like, I love jamming Charles Rogers because once you jammed him, like it was done. Now he was a freak and he had long speed and he was tall and he was great in contested catch situations down the field. But in the NFL, a guy that lacks physicality like that, he's gonna get eaten alive. And he did, and he had a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. And so we watched this dude at practice, and he was disappointing. And we were talking to the GM at the time, and the coach at the time, and like, hey man, if y'all drafted that dude in the first round, and I think he was a top 10 pick?
2, I think he was 2 overall.
Pick. He was really, and he was from Michigan State, so he was like close. So they like knew about him and stuff. And he was not worthy of that pick. I don't know who. That was a bad scouting, man. He was not worthy of that pick. Let me tell you. And we told the Matt Millen and Jim, if you drafted that dude top 5, then Roy Williams is already at Texas 5 times the player that Charles Rogers was. And C. Red vouched for it, and so did Sean Rogers. We were all like, no, he's way better. Like, you need to draft that dude. If you drafted him, then you need to just go ahead and draft Roy Williams too. And I don't know if he was the reason, but he did draft Roy Williams. And Roy Williams was better. Like, he was instantly better than Charles Rogers. Everybody knew that. Roy's issues probably came more with the infrastructure around Roy. And then, like I said, Roy at times didn't want to have that like killer instinct. Like, I think, so at times Roy got satisfied because Roy athletically, he was up there with some of the best athletes in the league. Like, he still a Pro Bowl player. Yeah, exactly. But I just think he didn't. he should have been grinding more at like perfecting his craft, but he was with one of the worst teams in the league too. Let me say that. That Detroit Lions were one of the worst teams in the league.
See, look, another Dan Campbell. This is a Dan Campbell pick all the way right here. Just take the offensive tackle. Just take probably the best player available on the board. And the other thing, Rod, you know what probably really hurts the Lions? You look back at that 03 draft. Charles Rogers went 2 overall. You know who went with the very next pick? The Texans took Andre Johnson.
Oh, talk about the opposite. That dude is chiseled and huge and physical as hell. And you took Charles Rogers before that dude. You looked at both of them in person, watched both of them, and scouted both of them in games, and came out and said, Charles Rogers.
Yeah.
Like, what? What the hell's going on with that organization? That's crazy.
I saw Andre Johnson over the weekend, and let me tell you, I think he'd still give you about 6 for 80, maybe a score on a week. I mean,
yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
the shape he's still in.
Andre Johnson. If I could build my perfect wide receiver from a body type, skill structure, and lab, it'd be Andre Johnson. 6'3", 230, track speed, physical. The speed translates to the field. Contested catch guy, rat guy, just the whole deal.
Ain't got that dog in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Was it Cortland Finnegan?
If I was going to say, that's a fun clip to find, is where at the snap, it wasn't any like, oh, hey, let's mix it up. Like, no, it was snap and then boom, it's like a boxing match on the field with Andre Johnson. And
we were supposed to see that dude in the national title game in 2001, but we didn't. We were supposed to see him though. Remember,
Jeff,
he was on that team.
Yeah, you're right. Jeff, 2 picks away from the Cowboys. We just see right now Caleb Banks from Florida going to the Vikings. That's a bit of a reach. I mean, heck of a player.
It was like a hellacious reach.
Whoa, that is a big.
That's a guy that played, I think, 3 games this year and then got hurt in the pre-draft process.
That's wild.
Yeah. Look, the measurables. I mean, I know he was one of those combine cuties, Rod, that we talk about so often. But wow, yeah, a bit of a surprise there. But Cowboys now 2 picks away. Jeff, what are you looking for whenever it comes to pick 20?
I'd still like to say I gotta look what edges or linebackers are on the board.
Yeah, gotta go D. Now, hell,
what about Colton Hood, the Tennessee corner?
Yeah, because I'm thinking you might be able to find a linebacker in the second round. Anthony Hill might be there for you in the second round. Hell, you might get depending on how the board fall. Hell, Jacob Rodriguez might fall to the second round.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so the reason I won't go linebacker is because I think CJ Allen might be. You're gonna find a linebacker in that second round. I don't know which one of them, but you're gonna find a starter. Now you may have to trade up to go get them, something like that. But I think there'll be multiple linebackers in that second round. Like some people say, I think you go with the high value. What's the best player on the board?
You need a corner, you need an edge.
Yeah, on defense.
I think that's where you go.
Yep. Corner. Oh man. Corner's interesting here. Yeah, because you could go Jamar McCoy. I don't like him coming off that injury. He's a good player though.
And actually he's gonna need another surgery apparently. So he had been linked to the Cowboys pretty much the whole way through up until a couple of days ago.
I don't like that. I like him as a player, but I don't like that injury risk. I don't like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a good player though.
So okay, we have a trade out, Jeff.
Uh-oh.
The Eagles now on the clock, and Matthew's going nuts behind the scenes. This is going to end up being a pick that makes the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, let's say you always get weary when Howie Roseman's trying to trade with you, man.
Don't.
Yeah,
that's what aggravates me about this. Why are you trading with Howie Roseman? Don't.
He's pulling the chair out for you to sit down and then pulling it right under you whenever
no,
you
he is. Yep. Yeah, I agree. I would always be suspicious of a Howie Roseman phone call. Like, what's this dude want, man?
What happened to no trades within the division? Huh?
I like that rule. That's one of my rules.
That's like Bugs Bunny handed Elmer Fudd the birthday cake that's got like nothing but TNT in it and it blows out. Don't take the bait. Because the Eagles are going to do something really smart. Inevitably, it's going to happen. I've accepted the fate that the Eagles are a well-run organization, as much as that pains me to say.
All right. Well, we're going to have to wait a little bit more for that second pick from the Cowboys.
That's intriguing.
That is.
So because I'm with you, they need defense and they need it badly.
I am really interested to see where Carolina goes with 19. I mean, Bryce Young didn't look terrible towards the back end. They finally got him a wide receiver, Ted McMillan. Do you do that again? You go Mekhi Lemon, maybe? Denzel Boston from Washington. Look, it makes sense to get the kid as many weapons as possible. And, I think if you're Jonathan Brooks, who hopefully we get to see healthy on the field this year for Carolina, I think he's sitting there saying, well, if I'm coming back healthy, get me a offensive lineman and get me somebody that can block and create for me up front.
I almost forgot about Jonathan Brooks.
I know it.
It's been so long since he's been completely healthy. It's saying like years, I feel like. But forget that guy's a second-round pick. I like the way Bryce Young played at the end of the season, though. I thought he was really good in critical moments. So I'm with you. I think get him some more weapons. Now, wide receiver position is still – you got a lot of talent at wide receiver still on the board.
I wonder if the Cowboys are thinking C.J. Allen.
I think if they're trading back right now, they might be looking at the board saying, hey, we know the Steelers aren't going wide receiver. The Chargers aren't going wide receiver. How about we just get back some of the draft capital that we lost or traded for, to go from 12 to 11 to go get Denzel Boston or Mekhi Lemon. Because look, the Eagles might have traded up here just to go get one of those two wide receivers as well, considering where some of those draft rumors came from about A.J. Brown and some of the backstory. Story there. So
no, it's true. There's some rumors about him to the Pats. I've heard all kind of crazy rumors about A.J. Brown. That's interesting.
From a reliable source, it appears.
Yeah. And I wonder what wide receiver will be, because at this point you got Mekhi Lemon on the board, you got Concepcion is another guy that's on the board, Denzel Boston, and they're all a little different. Depends on what you need in your system and what kind of wide receiver you're looking for.
So I think it makes sense for the Eagles to go receiver here, end up trading A.J. Brown, Cowboys to go receiver at 23. If not, you go get your linebacker or edge rusher.
I like the linebacker thing for Cowboys. Monroe Freeland, that's a good pick.
That is a good pick. That was a late riser in this year. He's a stud.
Mm-hmm. He's only got how many years started? 1 year starting at Georgia?
Yeah, but he's huge, Rod.
Yeah.
Okay. That about does it for me tonight, fellas. We'll be back tomorrow. Plenty more. Jeff.
Good stuff, CJ.
Fingers crossed the Cowboys keep this momentum going.
Let's hope they don't screw it up.
They might have already done it. All right. I'll catch you guys.
Chances are good they didn't, CJ.
Thank you, Matthew.
6'7". I didn't realize he was 6'7". Damn. I think it was really good to be 6'7". I didn't realize he was that big.
I'm just looking at the edge rushers. I could see the Cowboys going Keldrick Falk from Auburn, Akeem Messidor, Ruben Baines, running mate at Miami. They could be thinking edge right here.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Bobby's joining. What's up, Bobby?
What's up, guys? Y'all doing all right?
Oh, doing good, man. Doing good.
Cowboys didn't screw it up, Bobby. I'm doing great.
I don't know.
They're 1 for 1 so far. We'll see what happens in the next 10 minutes here.
The more certain you are about draft picks, the more likely you are wrong, because draft picks can be very upside down. I know a lot of people are high on Caleb Downs, and I think he's a great player. I just don't know that you trade up for a safety, even if it's one spot. So I would I'm going to put a downer on some of the Cowboys party.
Pun intended, downer.
Yes.
The Eagles pick is in. Oh, man. Now it's the Cowboys fans still sweating, especially in that division with the Eagles. Oh, Mekhi Lemon. Yep. So CJ was right. They get that wide receiver.
Why do you trade? See, why would you trade with Howie Roseman? Don't do it.
Yep. Got the wide out.
I don't.
Yeah, man. I don't know why you would trade with Howie Roseman. I wouldn't even pick up Howie Roseman's phone call.
No.
I missed it, man. So
nothing go to voicemail.
Yep.
So I was a little bit of a downer there on the Caleb Downs conversation, but I do believe he's a great player. So I just don't know that I would trade up for non-premium positions in the first round. I just don't know if I do that. Even if it's one spot, you lost 2 spots. So now you're forced to trade down to get some picks back on the board later.
Mhm.
I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. I will say this. Do I trust Howie Roseman or Jerry Jones?
Oh,
That's
exactly.
something that I know the answer to, but I'm not going to answer it. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not a Cowboys hater. Like there are people that are Cowboys hater. I'm not. I worry. Like Jeremiah Love goes 3 overall.
That's wild.
I mean, how do you how do you do that? How do you pick a running back that high? I know he's a tremendous talent, but in retrospect, do you like? I think of Ezekiel Elliott going really high, right? He was like the last one. Was he worth that high of a pick in retrospect?
Bijan went really high. Bijan, I think there are some guys that may be worth it, but you can make the argument that running back, looking at the lifeline, basically how the lifespan of a running back, that is never worth it. You can make the argument in an analytical world, it's never worth it, especially considering what CJ told us about how much they have to pay Love now. Like he's basically the highest paid running back in history now.
Yes.
The Zeke pick at the time was it was defensible from the standpoint that the Cowboys shouldn't have been picking that high. They had a terrible year the year before Romo got hurt. So you draft the running back that high if you're in that position where, hey, we just had a bad year, but we're in position to contend and we need it. Like this is one of the pieces we're missing as a running back.
Yep.
The Cardinals are not in that position.
The Cardinals are not there.
Hey, Rob, what do you think about Kai Lemon? Smaller receiver.
I don't mind him. I mean, he's really good versus man coverage. They put him in the slot too, because that could help. He's really good. You like the slot fade. He's probably the best receiver in running the slot fade in college football. He's almost perfected the slot fade. Contested catch rate is pretty good. He's around 57% on his contested catch rate. So I like him. I don't love him. I like him. I don't love him. I guess it's the best way to say it. Like I don't know if I would have. I guess this is probably where they had him mocked and drafted right there in mid first round. But like I said, I don't love the other wide receivers in this draft anyway. I don't love like a ton of them. I think they are all good. They're good players at the top of it, but I haven't fallen in love with any of the wide receivers. Like these guys are franchise wide receivers. They'll end up being Pro Bowl, all pro guys. I don't know if I feel that way.
Is this guy Amon-Ra St. Brown though? I mean, he's got a little of that to me, and I know he played at USC. I just feel like he's got speed and know-how. Rod.
He's tough though. He's tough. Like the only corner that locked him up pretty much was Leonard Moore. And Leonard Moore is going to be a top 10 player in the 2027 draft. He's going to be the best corner taking the draft. He's probably going to win the Thorpe next year. Like he's the best corner, best man coverage press corner in college football. Even this year, you could have made that argument about him. He was that good. So that's the only guy on film that I saw that, not to say locked him down, but was very effective in taking him out of the game.
Rod, you were on the Leonard Moore train so early. Next year, whenever he gets drafted, they should send you to wherever the draft to let you announce the pick. Like, you were on Leonard Moore insanely early.
It was crazy. I remember watching his junior year film, and I told Craig Way, I said, I don't know how many corners you've seen, but he's easily the best in Central Texas. He's got to be the best in the state. I said there's a corner whose film is better than Leonard Moore. I need somebody to bring it to me because I can't imagine there's better film. He was so technically proficient and sound at bump and run coverage as a junior in high school. It blew me away. Like he looked like a veteran. He looked like he looks right now. Like the film looked the same way. Like he was that technically sound at bump and run coverage. And I couldn't. I don't even want to get into the Texas thing. But I'm just saying I couldn't understand why there wasn't more of a push to try to from more schools to try to get him. But when Notre Dame jumped on it, it was all good. That was a big time program. But I thought as a junior, he wasn't getting recruited enough. I was like, this is crazy. This guy's the best. And then by the time Notre Dame came along, he was a national name at that time. But it was legit. Yep. But Makai Lemon, I like him. He said he's got that dog in him. Like, he got the dog. That's what you want from a wide receiver in the league. He can beat man coverage. And honestly, zone coverage is really more about your mental acumen as a receiver and the game slowing down for you. So you can teach him how to be a demon in zone coverage. But man coverage, usually you can't teach that to guys, how to get open against man. That's just some guys got it or they don't. And you see it really early. And Mekhi Lemon can get open against man coverage. All right. All right. So Chargers are on the clock. Steelers pick is in. This crowd's about to go nuts. What are the Steelers going to pick? What are the Steelers going? They need O-line. They need line help, period. O-line and D-line.
Well, we know Mike McCarthy, unlike his last job, he'll actually get a voice at the table. So
how do you feel about that hire? How do you feel about that hire? The Pittsburgh Steelers hiring Mike McCarthy. That didn't fit.
No,
It felt awkward and forced.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. I tell you who was shocked that it happened to Sean Miller, because the Texas had a game the night that hire was made, and he was like, "Really? Are you sure?" Like, yeah.
Because he's a Steelers fan. But then he's like, Steelers coaches, they've had 3 coaches prior to Mike McCarthy. 3 coaches in 50 years, whatever that is.
Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
Do we think Mike McCarthy lasts 10 years?
No way.
And that's what I think. That is out of the norm of what the Steelers have been doing. They usually get a young coach and they grow with the young coach.
Yeah.
Up and coming coach. They grow with that guy 10 years. Hire the next great young coach. That was not the case here. Not saying that I'm against Mike McCarthy, but that wasn't the trend of the Steelers the last 50 years.
So I'm just looking at I'm doing a top 20 right now. 8 of the top 20 are from the Big Ten. 4 of the top 20 selections from the SEC. 3 from both the Big 12 and ACC. Just looking at a league perspective right now, guys.
Hold on, give me those numbers again, Bobby.
8 from the Big Ten.
Okay.
4 from the SEC.
Okay.
3 each from the ACC and ACC and Big 12.
Okay.
That's what I've got right now. And then obviously independent as well. So I think this is showing what the Big Ten is right now and was this year. And there's another Big 12 guy off the board.
Mm-hmm.
With the Arizona State offensive tackle. This year, the last 3 years, the Big Ten has kind of quietly creeped up in the NFL draft. This year, they've done more than creep up. They've kind of blown through the door a little bit. I feel like that's what's happening. And even you look at Monsieur Delane. I mean, he's a transfer from the ACC.
Virginia Tech, right?
Yep, from Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So I think it's 5. It's 5 total from the SEC so far, not 4.
To your point, Bobby, for 19 years, the SEC has had more players drafted than any conference. For 19 years, that has been the case. So it's damn near 2 decades. Last year, the SEC had a slim edge, to your point, on the Big Ten, 77-71. And maybe this will be the year that they finally overcome the SEC and have more players drafted overall. They caught them in the championship department because they won 3 straight in the Big Ten. And now they're going to take them over in the talent department. And some would say they've overtaken them in the coaching department. That's just a discussion we can have. But the Big Ten's got a lot of advantage now in major college football.
Well, adding Oregon and USC was big for the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
From a personnel perspective. Washington will do a little bit, and UCLA will do a little bit. But those 2 teams, USC and Oregon, are spending heavily in NIL.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's gonna show up and pay off for them. I think it's interesting how we're seeing the Big Ten do this, because I would not have guessed this. Even 5 as recent as 3 to 5 years ago. And I think they do play with what happened when Nick Saban went, okay, I'm just going to throw the ball around the yard with Sark and Lane Kiffin. They went away from that heavy run, pound it style of offense and defense, which is what, if you want to get down to it, is what the Big Ten has won the last 3 national championships with.
Yeah.
Good run offense, you know, little play action here and there, QB run game at times. I mean, look, J.J. McCarthy didn't throw a pass in the second half of the national championship. Fernando Mendoza, you can say what you want. He went number 1 overall, but they ran the ball.
They had 2,000-yard backs.
Yeah. And, you know, Ohio State with Henderson and Judkins, even with Jeremiah Smith and all these other wide receivers they had.
They became a running team at the end of the season.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Now another ACC guy goes off the board with Mesidor.
Yeah.
I like this pick a lot, by the way. I like Mesidor a lot.
Yeah, Mesidor's a good player.
Yeah.
He can bump inside, too. He's got good power.
Kind of hoping he'd be there for the Cowboys.
That would have been that's a good point, actually.
Oh, if you hadn't traded out of 20, maybe you could have picked him there instead of gift wrapping Mekhi Lemon to Howie Roseman. But
only thing I don't like about Mesidor, but you can explain it, is his age. He's old. Like, he's really old. And he's
really?
He's like 25 years old, right?
Mesidor is?
Yeah. Mesidor is old. Like, he's an old man.
He played like it.
But he
I mean, I thought down the stretch, I know everybody said, oh, Ruben Bain, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Mesidor is the one that got the quarterback more on the ground. He's the one that a lot of Bain's sacks were swallow sacks, you know, ran into the pocket.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I like Bain. Don't get me wrong. I just think he's more of a 5 technique than he is a pass rusher.
By the way,
those short arms.
Yeah.
I think it was Barstool Sports put out a tweet that said, first look at Ruben Bain in the Tampa Bay Bucks jersey, and it's an inflatable T-Rex with a Bucks helmet on.
Oh, man, I know. That's going to be some easy jokes right there. But this is the reason that Mesidor is so old. Apparently, he came in like as an outside linebacker, but he's really underweight. He's like 190-some pounds as an outside linebacker. Came from Canada, too, is what they said. So it was a transition thing for him. But he's old. Usually old guys don't get drafted in the first round just because of the age alone. But he's a good player.
By the way, Texas. Anybody notice how Texas A&M's offensive line was considered really good until they played Texas in Miami at the end of the year?
Yep. I did notice that, Jeff.
Yeah.
And you know, that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why I picked Texas to beat Texas A&M. When I did at the end of the season, I didn't think A&M's offensive line had become appreciably better overnight.
Yeah.
I was not a believer in A&M's offensive line. Not a believer.
Yeah. No, that's I would say that A&M. Didn't they have how many players at the combine? Didn't they have the most players at the?
I think they did have the most at the combine.
I think the most players at the combine, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked into what the draft numbers going to be for them, but I believe they had the most players at the combine, which is big. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean,
saying AJ Brown was traded
already. Damn.
Yeah, somebody said it. I can't tell you for sure.
Okay, I'm not on my phone, so don't be pranking me. Let me check it out here. Let me get Shefty. See what Shefty's saying about it.
That would be the guy.
If Shefty says it, then we go with it. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, why would you draft a wide receiver in the first round? Because of the history with AJ Brown and the Eagles organization. They've had some turmoil, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't be. There's been rumors about him being traded for a while. Like, that's not new. So yeah, and everybody's saying it's going to be the Patriots that trade for him. I don't know. I have no idea. I know that's crazy.
I don't know. I was listening right when CJ made the little comment about why the Patriots might know that, or why the people had heard that. One of the authors of that article was Diana Rossini. That the Patriots were interested in AJ Brown. Unbelievable.
Oh man, yeah.
The inside scoop right there.
Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna judge nobody on this one. I'm not.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Nope. I don't want anybody looking into my stuff.
Either way, by the way. Either way.
I got skeletons in my closet. I don't want anybody looking at them, so I'm not gonna judge on that one. All right. The Cowboys are coming up here. The pick is in. And do you think they're gonna go with linebacker here? What are your thoughts here, Jeff? I know you're probably doing some research. You got to go front seven, in my opinion, somehow. But I feel like you can give linebacker help. Linebacker is so deep in this draft, dude. You can get starting linebackers in the second round of this draft.
I'm just looking at the board right now. Keldrick Falk from Auburn probably I think would be the
that's not a bad one,
because he seems to be the last of the first round ish graded edge guys.
That's not bad.
So I could see that. I mean, hey. It wouldn't shock me completely if they went Anthony Hill right here, because I know they love Anthony Hill, but I would lean probably Keldrick Falk.
Okay,
I would like that.
That's not bad. I was doing some research on him actually, and this is what I love about his game. If it's gonna be him, he's a true power rusher. Here's a great stat about Falk. He had you go look at power moves, like power pass rush moves. He had the highest, one of the highest rate of power pass rush moves in all of this class. So he's a true power rusher. 6'6", 276. Dude could bump inside, and he had 60%. Only 60% of his snaps were outside the tackle's frame. Which for Bailey that was 88%. For Ruben Bain that was 86%. Messidor was 84%. So he was bumped inside to some. Inside shades a lot more than a lot of these edges too, so he can play multiple shades for you, and he's really good against the run. Really good against the run.
Well, it was not Keldrick Falk. I just saw it's good.
Pass rusher from UCF. Now it's not Lawrence from UCF. That edge rusher. Okay. I mean, I can't say it's a reach. I think he was mocked as a late first round pick.
This is a
reach. They are in the later stages of the first round, but I think there were better players on the board. I'll just say that for the Cowboys, but it's definitely a need for them because they need everything on the front side. Yeah.
I'm not. I would have preferred Keldrick Falk, but that's just me. But I don't hate it, but I definitely don't love it either. So.
Just be happy with the Caleb Downs pick. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm thrilled with the Caleb Downs pick.
Be happy with the Caleb Downs pick. It's all right, Cowboys fans.
What'd y'all think about David Bailey going number 2 overall?
He's probably the best natural pass rusher in the draft.
Yeah.
It's a good sign for Colin Simmons if David Bailey's going second in the draft, because he can go that high, then you can go that high at number 2. Because that means now, next year's draft is a lot different than this year's draft because you're going to have more premium talent at the top of the draft, quarterbacks, wide receivers, edge rushers. So it'll be a little bit different.
That's what I was saying, at premium positions, right?
Yeah. But he's the best. This is the point. He's the best pass rusher in the draft. When you're the best pass rusher in the draft, and you got the productivity and the tape to back it up, which Colin Simmons should have, you will be in the conversation to be second overall in the draft. You'll be in that kind of conversation. And so, but David Bailey, he's situational right now. There's no way he can be a consistent force for you on early downs on first and second down. He's just too small. But on passing downs, he's gonna come in and be immediately impactful. Like he can pass rush with the best of them right now, but he can't play every down in my opinion. He will because he's worth that much money now. But I don't think he'll be impactful like he will be on passing downs. Like he's a really good pass rusher.
Guys, how much you want to bet Jerry when Jerry gets to this press conference the Cowboys are going to have at the end of the first round? They draft Malachi Lawrence. He's going to say something about the last name Lawrence and compare him to DeMarcus Lawrence. That is my guarantee to what's going to happen in the press conference after round 1.
Oh man, yep. He definitely will give you a soundbite. That's what Jerry does, man. That's what Jerry's all about. It's gonna give you a great soundbite.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done enough research on Malachi Lawrence to know if that was a reach for the Cowboys, but I will say he was mocked by a lot of mock drafts somewhere around there.
Yes.
But I like like I said, the linebacker position. I can see why they didn't go linebacker. I know some folks in the chat were like, "Hey, linebacker." Because linebacker is so deep, it makes sense to look at it in another round.
Yeah,
they probably went with what they thought was a really good pass rusher in Malachi Lawrence because they think pass rushing just obviously is a more valuable trait and tougher to get a pure pass rusher. So let's go get one of the better pure pass rushers in the draft at the top. Get you still a starting linebacker in the second round, which you can do. It's going to be a really deep draft.
So the Cowboys don't pick again until pick 92 overall towards the end of the third round. So they're probably thinking, hey, if we're going to get an edge, we got to get one now and get the guy that we think, highest graded is our guy, whatever. Probably thinking at 92, you can still get one of the linebackers you like.
Yeah. Well, I would trade. If I'm new, I would trade in. I would try to think about trading into the second to get one. You want one of the really good linebackers. I think you're going to get like good linebackers in the second round.
Anthony Hill and CJ Allen ain't going to be there at 92.
They ain't going to be there, brother. They going to be gone. Gone, baby, gone. Like teams going to be salivating over them dudes dropping into the second round. So I would, if I'm the Cowboys, trade up to go get one of those. Jacob Rodriguez might go in one of these picks. Teams really like him. So, but those three guys those three linebackers, CJ Allen, Anthony Hill, and Jacob Rodriguez all fall to the second. The Cowboys definitely got to trade out of the third and go get one of them dudes.
Yeah.
Got to. It'd be because either one of them dudes would work. I'll take any three of those would work for your defense. All right. I think we got. Oh, did we get a super chat from way back? Oh, is this at Jesus Always 97? If Coach is hurt, does he still get drafted by the Browns? I don't remember. I got to think of where Coach got drafted.
He got third round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was third round. He probably still gets drafted in the third. Now, by the Browns is a good question. I don't know. He probably still gets drafted somewhere in the mid rounds. But the Browns, that was an unfortunate situation. I mean, the franchise that drafts you, especially, and even Coach Shipley said it. Matter of fact, before he went off the air, he said, because I think we were talking about Jordan, he said in the middle rounds, the late rounds of the NFL draft, and he's right on the money here. He said the franchise that drafts you and the system you're drafted in and the infrastructure around you, it probably has more determination to your success or more to do with your success than the guys who are drafted in the first and the second round. Because those guys, they're going to be given every opportunity to succeed because guys' jobs depend on them succeeding. The GM, I picked you in the first, second round. You can't be a bust because my job depends on you working out. All right. Nobody really gives a damn your fourth round pick didn't work out. Oh, who cares? First and second round, those don't work out. Guys get fired over those picks. All right. So that's kind of what I think. And that's what he's talking about. So for Shipley and for Colt, going to better organizations, obviously the Browns aren't one of those, would have definitely helped. There's no question about it. Totally agree. Oh, Concepcion. Oh, can I give y'all a Concepcion stat? This will be good because we can talk about Marcel Reed a little bit. Because I saw this, I was doing some research about Concepcion. So, KC Concepcion, how about this? If you look at his off-target rate on target to Concepcion on 15-plus yard passes. So, off-target rate on 15-plus yard targets to Concepcion, he led the wide receiver class 42% off-target rate on 15-plus yard throws to Concepcion. If he had connected on more of those, dude, I'm telling you, his stats would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Because he had a 2.56 yards per route run, and they missed Concepcion on a lot of those throws down the field. Craver actually ended up with 3.37 yards per route run, one of the best numbers in the country. But off-target throws on 15-plus yard throws of 42%, that's the highest number in this class, by the way. But that says a lot about Marcel Reed and his development. He's got to take his game to the next level as a pocket passer, or A&M's offense is not going to reach a championship caliber level. Period.
I may be wrong, Bobby. I'm just not convinced he's going to get there.
I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's ever going to be great. I mean, he's serviceable.
Yeah.
And they've got I will say this. They have got a receiving corps.
They do. Really good.
They got Isaiah Horton. He's tremendous.
Yep.
The Mario Craver, I think, is one of the better receivers in the country, not just in the SEC. They got the young kid, and we talked about it. The one they're really hyped up right now about is Aaron Gregory. My point in saying all that is, if they had Arch Manning right now, they'd be in hog heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear people debate which quarterback's better between those two, that's not really a fair debate. I mean, no offense, but you're talking about one guy that might go in the top 5 overall, or likely goes in the top, versus another guy that's likely not to go.
Yep.
In the NFL draft.
Yep.
So, that is what it is. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. It's just
Jeff, if you could turn those 2 picks from the Eagles into a second round linebacker, do you like to trade more? Yeah. Look, the Cowboys have to come out of this with as many defensive pieces as possible. So yeah. If you can do some maneuvering and get into the second round and maybe keep your 3 this year, yeah, just as many defensive pieces as you can have.
And how many there's only been one linebacker. How many linebackers are going off the board? One?
I think just
is it Arvell Reese?
Styles, yeah.
Styles and Reese.
Yeah.
That's it. And we don't even know. I mean, Reese can be whatever. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think you got to get a linebacker, a quality linebacker out of this draft, man. Because this is one of the deepest positions in this draft is linebacker. Safety actually is one of the other positions that's really deep. I think it's great you got yourself the best safety in the draft, arguably. Now go get what some people may say is the best or the second, third best linebacker in the draft. That's what I would be focused on from the Cowboys.
That brings the total, by the way, to 6 SEC players selected in the first round now with Concepcion. I will say this, of the 6, 3 were transfers. So Delane, Caleb Banks at Florida originally started at Louisville and is from the state of Michigan. And then Concepcion's from the state of North Carolina and transferred from NC State. It's interesting here. What's going? There's only been 1 native Texan taken in the first round right now.
Now that is crazy.
Jordan Tyson.
That's
not offered by the University of Texas, by the way.
So one guy that played high school football in the state of Texas has been chosen
so far. Yeah, top 24.
That seems crazy too, actually.
Yeah. It's been California has had probably, let me see, 1. California has 4. Florida with just 2. I don't count IMG Academy as a.
I don't even think Thank you for doing that. People feel like, what IMG? I'm like, no, IMG Academy is recruiting all over the country. You cannot count that. You gotta count whatever high school they were playing at before they went to IMG. That's count where they're from.
I'm not giving Francis Mayaoga, who's from American Samoa, played high school ball in California to the state of Florida because he went to IMG for a year.
Exactly. No,
not doing that.
Agreed. Jesus always, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Says, also, guys, I know it's the draft tonight, but I haven't been this excited about Longhorn football since 2009. Also, Rod B, I wore your number in Little League. Man!
God bless. Rod B's number, or was it Dion's or Roger Clemens?
Well, if you're talking about Longhorn football, I am technically the greatest number 21 in Texas football history. So if you're a Texas football fan and you wear 21, then maybe it's a Rod B number. But yes, 21, the greatest of all 21s is. But it's football. Baseball, I know there's like 3 guys. So I didn't say that. Football. Me, Grady Cavness, and Blake Gideon. All right. So hold it off there.
You got another one.
Oh yeah, Ryan Niblett. Right. Added to the Mount Rushmore of 21s for Texas football.
I will say this to you, Rod. I don't know if you had a 3-game stretch like Ryan Niblett.
No, I did not. No. You're right about that. Hey, Ryan Niblett still got 1 more year. So I'm like, damn it. Ryan Niblett need to slow down now. They're gonna forget all about Rod being 2-1.
He had a hell of a run.
He was that. No, I said that. I don't know if anybody. If you would talk about real quick about the Texas team, we'll get to Jesus always a little bit. Get into your text here, and thank you for the super chat. if you want to talk about players who were the best value to the team, Ryan Nicholas was easily the best value to the team last year in terms of what you probably invested in him and what you got out of him. He basically won 2.5 games for you, and you'd be on the hot seat, Sark, and you know it. If not for Ryan Nicholas, like you lose that Mississippi State game, oh man, we know, man, we talking about Sark on the hot seat right now if he loses that game. So God bless Ryan Nicholas. No doubt about that. What I will say about being excited, geez, always that's why we're doing this. Some people say, why y'all doing an in-draft live watch tonight? No Longhorns are going to be taken in the first round. We just want to make sure we're gearing up. All right. We're testing. Sorry, it's got
next year.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we're troubleshooting all the issues. So we're going to make sure next year when Longhorns have 4-5 first rounders, and the greatest draft arguably in Texas football history, we'll work out all the kinks. We'll be streamlined. We'll be ready to roll. It's going to be a party with the whole OTF fam contributing. It'll be a lot of fun. So y'all join. We might be.
I don't know have they announced where next year's draft is?
Yeah, they definitely have. You can look it up. I don't know exactly.
I'm putting in for press credentials for one of you guys.
Ooh, that's a good idea right there. Now you're talking about a party.
Washington D.C.
Ooh, DC? Oh, man. Hey, that's nice. Chocolate City. All right. Let's but about the draft, I will say this. We were talking about this earlier. Texas might have 4 players potentially drafted in the top 15 next year. Like, that's realistic. Because you could have the best quarterback, the best tackle in Gooseby, best edge rusher in Simmons. You won't have the best receiver. That will be Jeremiah Smith. But you could have the second best receiver. And as we saw, if you're the second best receiver, you're in a conversation to go in the top 15. Easily. Top 10 maybe, depending on how the draft shakes out. And that Cam Coleman's in that conversation. So we've never seen a Texas draft like this, where Texas will have this many elite players potentially at their positions being considered top draft picks in that upcoming draft. Like, we've never seen anything like it.
Most Longhorns ever drafted in the first round, 3.
There you go.
And it was 1980.
Hey, I was born in 80. Nice.
Yeah. And last year.
2024 or 2025, yes.
25, yeah. Barron, Golden, and Banks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next year should be, and I did an article about it this morning on TexasFootball.com. Next year should be a different category of freaky for Texas. I counted up 21 guys that will be draft eligible next year. I think 18 of them will have a draftable grade if they decide to go pro.
Damn.
That's how many.
That's not
now some of those were Brandon Baker, who I think is going to be, he's only going to be a junior, right?
Mm-hmm.
A redshirt sophomore. So you can't really count him, but most of them were 3rd or 4th year guys that are definitely going to be coming out. Dylan Fitteman, young man, he's originally from the state of Indiana, transferred from Purdue to Oregon, goes in the first round to the Bears. Are the Bears starting to do something? Are we believing in them at this point?
Ben Johnson.
Are we believing in Ben Johnson?
I think he's trying to do. I like Ben Johnson. Actually,
yeah, I do too. I think for that reason, I think the Lions are going to start slipping. Dan Campbell gets a lot of PR, a lot of publicity, and he's may very well be a really good head football coach. Ben Johnson and that offense took off to Chicago last year, and I think that's a big piece of why Caleb Williams looked presentable for a season.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, as opposed to his first one.
I agree with you. I wonder if Jared Goff and that offense take a step back, and then we see Chicago actually continue to improve. Well, and I would say Jared Goff's actually been lucky because he had Sean McVay to help rejuvenate his career.
Yep.
And then when he was with Detroit, ended up with Ben Johnson, one of the other kind of best offensive minds in the NFL. And so I'm with you. I think you could lose some of that edge. And now you're in the same ecosystem because you're in NFC North. And there's only room for one king Oh,
This is an interesting pick now.
The Texans traded in this.
they need O-line help. The Texans always need O-line help. No, the Texas O-line is a disaster. It's one of the only things holding them back from being a real championship contender. O-line is a disaster, and it's turned C.J. Stroud. He's actually now regressed. The offensive line has been so bad. You took a guy that had one of the greatest rookie seasons in the history of the NFL, and now he's regressed. People are questioning whether he's a true franchise quarterback, which is a little ridiculous in my opinion because he's still really young. But that's how bad the O-line's been. So you've had one of the most inconsistent offensive lines out there. So I could see that pick, just trying to shore up the O-line. I get it. It's boring, but it's probably necessary for the Texans.
That Kenyon Green pick a few years ago, Rod, didn't work out.
Oh, no. They've been, I would say they've been inconsistent in draft. They've drafted a lot of O-linemen too. They've invested a ton in the O-line and just haven't invested it wisely in draft capital.
By the way, again, the run on offensive linemen continues, and look at everybody's needs. O-line's near the top for almost everybody. The development at that position is terrible. I'll keep trumpeting that till the cows come home.
No, you're right. And I said, Sark got into that in that Get Got podcast. Hey, Jay, what's up? Oh, Jay, thank you for the super chat. It says, sitting in a storm shelter in northern Oklahoma, watching you guys to keep calm. Hooker fellas. Oh, Jay, stay safe. We praying for you. All right, stay safe and keep your head up. Man, we appreciate you watching this. We'll be praying for you and you and your family. All right, man. That's I'm not man. Storm.
Hey, can we talk a little bit about the Malachi Lawrence pick? How much do we know about him? I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, I didn't know about him as a recruit coming out. He's from Louisville, Kentucky. What was the book on him?
I'll be honest, Bobby. I didn't do a ton of work on him.
Okay.
I have not watched a lot on Malachi Lawrence either. That's why I said early on. I will admit I have not done deep dive research on Malachi Lawrence. His RAS score is pretty freaky. I know Cowboys fans like RAS scores, at least the Cowboys do. He had a 9.9 RAS score, which is pretty damn good. It's out of 10. His RAS score of 9.5 out of 10 ranked 13th out of 2,085 edges graded out from 1987 to 2026.
Holy cow!
So the Cowboys like freaky edge rushers, and he's got freaky traits. Yeah.
I hope he works out better than the last high draft pick Texas took from UCF, which was Tristan Hill, which did not work out very well at all. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I wonder if Jerry Jones believes in the old oil well adage. You know, go big or go home. You know, it may cost $2 million to drill an oil well, but you can make $20 million. He doesn't drill oil wells sometimes.
My joke for years, Bobby, has been the Cowboys typically do a pretty good job in the first round. Again, there was the Taco Charlton incident a few years ago. But I'm convinced the Cowboys don't have a 2, so the second first is in lieu of the 2. The second round pick is usually the one where they just like, all right, let's just let Jerry make this pick. Just let him have it. We'll go back to drafting the rest of the draft, but that's how you get like Jalen Smith with drop foot taking him in the second round, or what the litany of bad second round picks the Cowboys have had.
That's a good point. I actually like that theory. That theory makes a lot of sense because Jerry's gonna pick. You gotta know that Jerry's gonna influence one of them picks, those high picks, because he wants to play.
Jalen Smith is a good player, yeah. So use a second round pick on the guy that's got drop foot that may never play again. Now Jalen Smith did play, but clearly was not the same guy. So yeah. Okay. I wouldn't use a second round pick on a guy with drop foot, basically.
Malachi Lawrence, 33 and 33.6 inch arms, so pretty good arm length. 6'4", 253 pounds. He's 92nd percentile weight adjusted 40, 96th percentile in his jump. So he has some freaky measurables. 20% win rate. If you're looking at his pass rush win rate, I think they're looking for out of a Micah Parsons starter kit. It's not going to be that, but they can get a low budget Micah Parsons starter, like just a freaky guy that can rush off the edge. They wouldn't want that. So I think that's kind of what they're looking for with this young guy.
His measurables might be in the ballpark of what DeMarcus Lawrence was too when DeMarcus Lawrence came out.
Like I said, he's got some. I mean, looking at it, I'm not gonna lie, like it stands out. He's like I said, his RAS 9.94. I mean, that's crazy. It's unbelievable. So I can see what the Cowboys are looking at. I get it. He seems wrong, but
if you can't tell, Rod, I'm still bitter about the 2016 draft when the Cowboys took Zeke Elliott and Jalen Smith with their first 2 picks and could have had Jalen Ramsey and Derrick Henry.
I remember screaming at the screen for them to draft a Jalen Ramsey, and I remember the Derrick Henry thing too. Yeah, but I remember screaming. We were out. We had a remote. We were watching the draft live. Oh, the DB on the San Diego State, I like that kid. We were watching the draft live, and I was like, they definitely gonna take Jalen Ramsey here. Nope. Took Zeke. Even though everybody said don't take a running back that high in the draft, they still did. But they were at a different point. They were at a point where they thought they had a window to win now. Yeah. So I kind of, looking back on retrospect, if the Cowboys had cashed in on that window, we wouldn't have been saying that. Because what year did they draft Zeke? What year was that?
16.
That's the Romo window. That was your Romo window. That was right in the middle of your Romo window. You thought you still had time with Romo, but you didn't. You didn't. It ended up being Dak's window. Remember, they thought that was the end of the Romo window. Ended up being the start of the Dak window.
That was the draft where they tried to draft like 3 or 4 quarterbacks before they finally just settled on Dak Prescott.
That's right. Yeah. And see, and the football guys gifted you Dak because you wanted. Oh man, who was the big quarterback?
Paxton Lynch. They tried to trade back into the first round to get Paxton Lynch.
Yes. And the other one they wanted.
They tried to trade up to get Connor Cook from Michigan State.
Yep. And the football guys were like, Cowboys, you're gonna screw it up. Take Dak and go with God, and they did. Thank the Lord. Chris Johnson, again, going with a corner in the first round. He's a good cover corner, though. I like his tape. I actually got a chance to watch some of his tape. He's a good one. I like that.
Patriots pick is in.
Oh, the Patriots already knew what they were getting. See, like very was like, Russ. I know exactly what I want. Who do the Patriots want? They need a cornerback or a wide receiver?
Has there ever been a team that picks more late in the last half of the draft or last 5 picks of the first round? I mean, literally every year for like the last 20, except for maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, like recently they've had.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's like when Belichick was there. It's like their pick was like 28, 29, 30, 31, or 32 for like 15 years in a row.
Man, I'll never forget the night the Patriots drafted Malcolm Brown with the last pick of the first round. Rod, I remember we were texting back and forth all night, and then when it came up that they were on the board, like Malcolm Brown's there, and they pick him, we're like, yes, it would make sense that the Patriots get a guy that's like one of the top 20-ish players in this draft. Just falls from at 32. They just sit there, they're patient, they don't do anything, and boom, they end up with Malcolm Brown.
They were Howie Roseman before Howie Roseman was Howie Roseman.
Damn right they were.
Yeah.
Ozzie knew some. And now I guess Eric.
They went a tackle. Vrabel wants to run the rock though too.
The other Utah tackle.
And you want to protect your I get it. And you want to protect your QB, your young franchise QB.
Lord, how many offensive linemen have gone in the first round now, man?
We might be on 5 or are we on 5? Oh, that's 2. Yeah. We had 3. Yeah, we might 4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we might more than 5 actually, maybe. Yeah.
No, we're at 8.
Damn, that's a lot. I thought we had tackles. How many interior offensive line we had? Just 1.
7. We're at 9. We're at 9 now.
9.
Rutledge was 9 that went to Houston. Lomu is the 9th, or it was 8. Lomu's the 9th. So
that's the most drafted position then is.
Oh, clearly
tackle. It feels like. And that's crazy.
O-line, not tackle. To be clear, I'm just O-line.
I know, but I think it's only been like 2 interior linemen that's been taken.
2 guards, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say there's 7 tackles. And that's crazy, Jeff, because I think when you came on, you were talking about, and I agree with you, I remember him saying it's not an elite tackle draft. It's a good tackle draft. It's got a lot of meat in it, but it's not elite at the top. And hell, you end up getting 7 in the first round.
Man,
that's crazy. All right. The Chiefs pick is in. Oh, who the Chiefs getting? They got a corner. Hell, they might go corner again. They did lose their 2 starting cornerbacks. I thought they go back to back corner. That'd be wild. But Brett Veach is a wild guy. Brett Veach has a plan. Brett Veach does a great thing every offseason. And you go look at it. He'll basically pick a position and rebuild it in one offseason.
He did that with the offensive line a couple years ago.
The offensive line. He's done it with several positions. He might be doing it with DB right now.
This could be Jermon McCoy right here.
Could be. That's a great point, Jeff.
They
When
might
he
roll the dice.
Hey, when he was working out, didn't somebody say he was still limping?
I think it was Ian Rappaport, I think, said that he may need another surgery on his knee.
How do you take that kid?
Yeah, no,
he's really talented. But the Chiefs are they're to Rod's point, they're in a position where they've already taken a corner. They got the top corner in the draft. You can back into the first round, roll the dice on a guy that's clearly a first round talent.
Now what's the value that's left? Like good O-line, a lot of good O-linemen off the board. First round. I don't know if that's worth it. Good edge that's on the board. I know you liked
Falk still there.
Falk is still there. That's not
Zion Young from Missouri.
Do they have a tight end that's any good out there right now?
It was not a tight end draft this year, Bobby.
Stowers is still out there. He hasn't been taken. I think he's the second best tight end.
Kenny Sadiq is the only tight end. Max Clare from Ohio State. Max Clare, I think it'd be between Clare and Stowers. Who's the next?
I would take Stowers. Stowers to me, he's only been playing tight end for like 3 years, and already look what he's done.
Stowers is a matchup beater. Yeah. I mean, Clare is a solid tight end. He's just not a matchup guy.
Yep.
Former Texas A&M quarterback Eli Stowers.
Yep. If I'm taking the tight end, that's the guy I'd go with. That's not bad, Bobby, because they need to look at a Kelsey replacement at one point.
Yeah.
But they've already started, but a high level one. Wide receiver. They did it.
Who do they have other than Worthy right now to pair with? I mean, Jay.
They do. They have the kid that was
Schuster's not going to. I mean, they lack firepower on offense for sure.
Is Rashee Rice still a factor there?
Yeah,
he's still there. Yeah, they still got.
But he's not great.
The little Omar Cooper do anything for you right here, Rod?
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Maybe a little small to match with Worthy.
He's a good
but he's a player.
Yeah.
Denzel Boston if they're looking for a receiver with size.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's a couple of receivers. So receiver might be a better value for him here. I can't imagine O-line is with all those O-linemen off the board now. I can't imagine that. It's a good value for him.
Honestly, receiver might have the best value right here.
I agree with you. I think receiver might have the best value. If you're looking at talent that's still on the board, if you're looking at best player available talent on the board and what you need, it might be receiver for them.
Did y'all mention, as we talk about the Chiefs, did y'all mention about Derek Johnson today?
Yes. Yeah. Another Hall of Fame for Derek Johnson.
Yeah, another. That's right.
Yeah. I think it's his third. He's a college football Hall of Famer, Texas high school football Hall of Famer, and now Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame.
He is. Yeah. His career is awesome because
it is.
Like some guys, they get into the league and your skills deteriorate, and it's like, okay, the league's moving away from you. It's like the older DJ got, the more the league adapted to a style of play that fit his skill set.
Mm-hmm. He became a spread league, and he's a spread guy. Okay, the Chiefs, the pick is in. I'm with you guys. I think wide receiver just makes sense.
I think DJ's still the all-time leading tackler in Chiefs history. So.
Chris Jones is getting old at defensive tackle.
Man,
Junk Jones. Junk Jones. All right, let's see. Come on, Chiefs.
That's a blast from the past, Rod.
I know. We forget about Junk Jones. He's such a good player. We forgot that he was Junk Jones.
It's hard to forget. It's one of those things you can't unsee.
No, you don't unsee that, man. You don't unsee it.
Peter Woods.
You just said D-line. Said Chris Jones is getting old. There it is. Junk Jones. Who? I like Peter Woods. I liked him last year. I think he had a bad season this past season. Not bad, but not to his standard. They played him as a nose a lot. Let me give you his stats. I went and looked it up because I was looking at some film of him. He played nose 46% of the time in 2025. He's a straight up nose tackle. If you put him at that 3 technique, he's way more disruptive as a 3 technique guy. He's 310 pounds. So in college, he can do that. In the NFL, they're not going to ask him to do that. He can be way more disruptive.
Clemson was a mess last year, too.
They were. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Clemson's been a mess for a couple of years.
True, Bobby. Very true.
I mean, look, Texas ran that football right down Peter Wood's throat.
They did. Yeah.
2 years ago, you know.
No, I agree with that. I was actually surprised. They kept running the same thing. They ran the outside zone over and over and over again, and they could not stop the outside zone. They ran like 24 times. They ran the same damn play, and Clemson couldn't stop it.
Rod, it looks like Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have opted out of the first round tonight because the Jets are on the clock in the Niners spot.
Yeah, because they probably want to go O-line maybe, and there's no O-line there. That might be one of the reasons they're thinking about going O-line. You could have went receiver there if you're the 49ers. They just drafted a receiver earlier a couple of years ago with Pearsall, and they still got, they got some drama at the wide receiver position all the time. So, yeah, trading out in the first round, nothing wrong with that. Because, once you get to the second round, guys, you realize the guaranteed money that you owe these guys is cut in half. The guaranteed money from first and second round is cut like 50%.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get first round talent in the second round because teams don't always draft well, and you will have to pay half the guaranteed money for it.
Now, the flip side of that is you don't get the 5th-year option. You don't get that 5th year.
You don't get the 5th-year option. But if you end up having that as a problem, then you're already in a good place because that means that guy played so well. He outperformed his draft position and outperformed his first contract. And the first world problem is I got to re-sign a really good player or I got to let him go. So.
I got to say something real quick. When I first came on, I started talking about how the Big Ten was dominating. Big Ten still has 9 first-round picks right now. SEC, ACC, and Big 12 all have 6, it looks like.
Okay.
Thus far. I want to say this. I mentioned how the Big Ten was kind of dominating early, and they did have like 8 of the top 20 picks or whatever it was, 24 picks. What's happening, though, clearly is that there is a consolidation among the Power 4. Mm-hmm. Only one non-Power 4 or Notre Dame player has been picked in the first round. And that's the corner from San Diego State. Everybody else has been from a Power 4 team or Notre Dame.
Damn. That's
and
crazy.
There's another Big Ten guy off the board.
There's a little Omar Cooper right there.
Yeah, and so, I don't know how many of those guys transferred in from non-Power 4 schools, but there's a consolidation. I think it's because of NIL.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt that the guy who was the guy that the Eagles picked, the corner from like Toledo or something.
Quinion Mitchell?
Yeah. That guy this past year would end up being at a SEC school.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of staying at Toledo. There's just that's the way that kind of stuff works now. And I think that's what we're seeing overall.
Remember on the draft broadcast this year, Saban was up there saying they were trying to get him to go into the portal.
Yeah.
No, I believe it. 100%. And by the way, Toledo underrated in terms of producing NFL talent. Toledo it's not about the secondary in Toledo. Do some ballers, man. Go check it out. Omar Cooper Jr. This is what I like about his game. This is some crazy numbers. He has a 39% missed tackle forced per reception rate. 39%. It's first. Dude is a monster when it comes to forcing missed tackles. If you go look at his, I'll just go down these stats for him. 19% of his receptions he scored a touchdown on. He was the 5th best run blocking grade by Pro Football Focus per receiver. He averaged 7.2 yards after the catch per reception, 8th in the class. And he only had 5 drops on 171 targets.
Jesus.
He's really sure-handed, like ridiculously sure-handed.
Did the Titans just trade back in?
They sure did.
Uh-oh. They like something.
Yeah. Who did they take it? They took somebody I didn't agree with earlier.
Carnell Tate.
Leon. Yep.
Give me I don't see that, guys.
That was the first.
He's never been the number one at his school.
Nope.
Now maybe Olave was never the number one at Ohio State either, but
It's hard to be the number one there, though. I will say.
Yeah, no, I mean you got Jeremiah Smith. I agree, but you're really going to take him 4 overall?
I know. I
did not see that. I mean,
that's high. That's high.
I got a feeling the Jets took Kenyon Sadiq and Omar Cooper, kind of send a message to the Manning family. Hey, we're going to tank for Arch, but we got some good pieces. We got some good pieces here for him. Then we tank. So
that's a theme after this draft. You're right. Tanking for Arch will be a theme. You're right about that. What the Titans thinking? That's weird.
By the way, Peter Woods, that selection, he's from Alabaster, Alabama. Texas is recruiting a player from that same high school right now. I think he's coming in for an official visit. Went to Alabaster Thompson High School. Caleb Lomu from Gilbert, Arizona. Omar Cooper from the same high school as Monshawn Sales, the top-weighted wide receiver. He's from Lawrence North in Indianapolis. And still only one Texan taken, native Texas taken in the first round. That's Jordan Tyson.
That's fascinating. That's got to be a low for the last 5 years or so, because I've been tracking it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely off.
Yeah, it's off. I agree with that. My man CB says, "Happy birthday, Aaron Williams." Didn't know it was Aaron Williams' birthday. Happy birthday to Aaron Williams. DBU, baby. Shout out to DBU. Also, let me get to a couple of questions here. I know we had to. I wanted to get to some questions earlier, but I'll get to a couple of them. How about this one? Connor says, y'all think some teams will pass up on QBs this draft and tank for Arch next year? We were just talking about it. Tanking for Arch might be a real thing. No real thing around here. I think tanking for the 27 draft period, because it's supposed to be historically a great, all-time great draft. But they're saying it's going to be one of the best drafts in the last 30, 40 years. It's supposed to be that good with all the premium positions and stuff.
I got to say this. I hope they're tanking around – they start tanking around October, November. And the reason I hope that is because that means Arch is playing really well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great one. Yeah.
I don't want them tanking in like September. If they're tanking for Arch in October, November, I'm probably a pretty happy dude at that point.
I agree with that. Hell yeah.
Another for the SEC right there with Keldrick Falk going to the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the one you like. You like Keldrick Falk.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are getting on because he didn't have a high sack total because he had 2 sacks in 2025. And like I said, people got to look the film. He didn't line up on the true edge a lot. There were a lot of times they had him head up on the tackle sometimes, or even an inside shade. 60% of the times he was outside the tackle, outside the tackle's frame. That's usually 80+% for edge rushers like Bailey and Bain and Messidor and other guys like that. So they didn't use him in that way.
Now, the more Auburn fans think about the Hugh Freeze era, just the matter they're going to get, how much talent was squandered in that program.
I agree on that. Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Seahawks need to take a Longhorn right here. Add to that defense.
Well, and we can keep the streak going. I think the Longhorns have had a first-round pick in 3 straight years. In today, if they don't get one, so
it probably won't happen, but
probably won't.
Rod, I said I would take Anthony Hill over Cassius Howell. You agree with that? If I were just picking a pass rusher and going to line him up, I'd pick Anthony Hill over Cassius Howell.
Wow, it's just a pass rusher, not even.
Yes.
As an overall player, yes, I agree. If I'm just going off pass rushing ability, I think it might be a little closer in general pass rushing.
I don't know.
Ability. But Anthony Hill's a really good pass rusher. We've talked about that. I agree with that, no doubt. Yeah. No, I think the NFL hopes that you're right and that they get a value and basically they can throw him in pass rushing situations on sub packages early on, like his rookie year, and then turn him into a starting linebacker for you on early downs, off-ball linebacker on first and second, and then you can just spin him down on the edge on third down and keep him on the field all 3 downs. That is the ultimate hope for all these linebackers. Like Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, that's what all these guys are envisioning for them. Off-ball linebacker first and second, spin down to the edge on third, ideally, if they can do it. Anthony Hill can do it already, though. He has done it.
Man, I hope
so.
They don't need more defensive help on that team though, because they're pretty darn good right now.
I know, like yeah. What are you gonna give this team? I mean, that was the best defense in the league.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You need that's why Anthony Hill fits because he's versatile.
That's true.
You know what I mean? If you, what do you give a team that already has it all? A piece that they can mess with a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait to see because
hopefully, like Steve Sarkisian with Jermaine Bishop, on offense.
Damn right.
Give him a little something to tweak the offense with. Maybe give Seahawks somebody to tweak the defense with.
Just like when the Chiefs took Xavier Worthy. Like, just give Patrick Mahomes the fastest guy in the history of the combine. Why?
They did it a couple of times. They did it with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Remember, they tried that. He didn't work out, but they were like, let's just give Patrick Mahomes a toy.
Yeah.
And which I agree with. You got a guy that good, hell yeah, just give him a toy. And same thing with Arch, to your point. Bobby's like, no, give him more toys, which they have done. All right. What the Seahawks thinking? I figure they got to go offense, man. Your defense is loaded and young, too. Like, their defense is young and loaded.
Who's the next best running back?
That's on the board now? That's
I don't
question. Is it?
I don't know if you take him here, but, man, if you're Mike Washington from Arkansas was really freaking impressive when they played Texas.
Oh, you can get that dude in the mid-rounds, yeah.
Yeah.
You can get that dude in the middle round.
For him, but, man, someone's going to get them a good one.
He's a Kenneth Walker starter kid.
Yeah.
That's who he plays like. Kenny Walker.
They do want a physical edge in the run game.
Yeah.
Oh, the pick is in. I figure they can get a physical running back.
They go to Mon McCoy. Just take a flyer on him. Because why not?
They could. That's a team that could afford to do it, though, Jeff.
Beat Texas.
They got starters in the secondary for the next couple of years. They can just sit back, dude, just red shirt, get healthy. And then we got a top 15, top 20 caliber guy that's going to come in as soon as you sign with another team, hit free agency, whatever it is, or we get an injury. That's not a bad idea. It's not crazy. Not crazy. But you got to pay for it, though, because he's a first-round pick. That's the only thing about it. It's dead money to you, really.
But you do get the 5th year, though. You get that extra year of control.
We were just talking. If it's McCoy, that'd be interesting because we were just talking about Patrick Mahomes. McCoy's also from White House, just like Pat Mahomes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let's see.
Right,
he originally signed with Oregon State out of high school. Transferred to Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Super Bowl champs.
Who do y'all like? Who do y'all think's done a good job tonight? Y'all really like, and some friends of mine that are Cowboys fans really like the Caleb Downs pick. I just don't like the trade. I don't like to trade up for things in drafts unless I just think it's a premium position.
They had a glut of 5s though, Bobby. So I don't mind giving away a couple 5s. I may be completely wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. I think the 2 safest picks in this draft are Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs. So I'm great with it.
Yeah, I do. I like the Chiefs pick. The Chiefs needed.
With Blaine.
Yeah, they lost both of their starting corners. They needed 2 really bad. They traded up to go get the best corner draft. If you need a position and you get the best of that position in the draft, you did a good job.
Well, the Cowboys theoretically needed a safety.
Like I say, I like the Cowboys pick. I like Caleb Downs. I know you didn't like trading up for a non-premium position, which I get. I still like that pick. Who they get?
It pains me to give NFC East teams credit, but I like what the Giants did coming away with Arvell Reese and Francis Mauigoa.
Oh, Bobby, I didn't get your thoughts on it. After we get this pick, depending on what it is, where's the Ty Simpson pick to LA?
No thanks.
Oh, they picked 2 running backs from the same school in the first round.
The other Notre Dame kid. That's a Texas kid.
Darian Price. Wow.
Damn. That's wild. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I like Jadarian Price though. I do.
Well, last year it was Keyshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson.
You're right.
Not going in the first, but overall.
No, you're right about that, Bobby. You're right. This kid's explosive though. He is.
Yeah, you were asking me what I thought. I think my favorite pick of this draft may be Caleb Banks, where you got him.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's a top 10, top 5, 6 player in the draft. He just wasn't healthy this year enough.
Okay.
I think he's
Yeah.
That, and I think the safest pick in the draft, though, Jeff made the comment about safe pick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the safest pick was the offensive tackle at Miami, and I don't want to butcher his name.
Francis Mauigoa.
Now I think he could play tackle or guard, and that's why I think he's a safe pick.
Yeah.
Right? Is like if he can't play tackle, it's like Leonard Davis. If he couldn't play tackle, he can play guard.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean? And so that kind of position flexibility for me makes me think he's like the safest pick. The other one I like besides Bank was the tight end from Oregon, Sadiq. He's a freak athlete. I mean, he's a freak athlete.
He really is.
He's got to, but they've got to use him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could be these that's the problem with great tight ends or great athletic tight ends. If you don't have an offense that uses the tight end, what's the value?
And I'm not sure about the Jets and that happening
either. You get my point. It's like, I really like that guy. If he were to go to play for the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson, that dude would get all kinds of. Yeah, but now he's going to the Jets.
Exactly. I like the athlete. I don't like the fit. I don't like the pick. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page. It's like,
this is anybody the Jets take ever a good fit.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. We probably wouldn't have said that about anybody with the Jets. That's how the Jets are.
Aaron Glenn, he's going to turn them around, man.
All right, before we get done here, guys, let's thank our last sponsor. Thank our friends over at Hayes City, and then we'll get ready to wrap up tonight's live stream. Thank you guys for joining us and standing around with us. Thank you to our friends at Hayes City Store. I love Hayes City, guys. I've been going to Hayes City since me and my wife were dating, actually, back in the day. I took on several dates to Hayes City Store. She enjoyed it, obviously. And then we take the little one to Hayes City Store. You should take the dogs out there. It's always a great time. It's scratch-made Texas comfort food, and they've got their famous truck stop enchiladas, the award-winning chicken fried steak, homemade desserts, all of it absolutely made from scratch and delicious. They also have live music 6 nights a week with 50 beers on tap, ice-cold long necks, and tasty margaritas. There are 11 TVs alone in the ice house, so it's great for college football game days or NFL Sundays. They also, speaking of Sundays, they even have brunch served from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every Sunday. Hayes City Store is also dog friendly, and they have a huge tree net for the kids, so the kids can run around out there. Plenty of space, so bring the whole crew, bring the dogs, bring the kids, bring the entire family, and you can go check out more information at HayesCityStoreTX.com. That's HayesCityStoreTX.com. Hayes City Store, it's uniquely Texas. Thank you very much to our friends at Hayes City Store. All right, guys, approaching the end of our in-game live watch. Tomorrow, we do expect for multiple Longhorns to be selected in the NFL draft. I think you're going to get Anthony Hill selected. I think Malik Muhammad also is expected to be selected tomorrow as well. What do you guys think the final number is for the Longhorns in the draft this year? Bobby, you start, and then your final thoughts. What do you think your final number and final thoughts were all said and done?
So I think that Texas will have 5 players drafted by come Saturday, essentially, right?
Yep.
When all said and done. Final thoughts. I guess I'm not in love with Fernando Mendoza as an NFL quarterback.
Oh, okay. Hot take.
I'm not in love with Ty Simpson as an NFL quarterback. Jeremiah Love, I think, is a freak. I still don't think you pick him number 3 overall. And I think other than that, the Big Ten piece, I think, is noticeable. I think the non-Power 4 conferences, I mean, literally, we just had 32 picks. 31 of the 32 were in the Power 4 Notre Dame.
That's crazy.
I mean, you could go back 5 years ago, and there were at least 8 picks from outside the Power 4. That's probably my lasting memory, other than not liking any of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, and I want to say this: I like the quarterbacks. I don't like them. I don't think they're future all pros or anything like that.
Yeah, franchise QBs, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, your final thoughts, final number, and then final thoughts.
Yeah, I think you know what? I think it's gonna be 6. I think Anthony Hill, Malik Muhammad, Jack Andrews, Trey Moore, those guys are locks. I feel like Michael Taft will get drafted, and then somebody's gonna take Ethan Burke. I just think he's the kind of toolsy guy. When you're drafting on day 3, late in day 3, you're looking for, hey, does this guy have like one thing he does better than almost anybody in the draft? And I think Ethan Burke, just the length, the overall athleticism, even though I don't know what the RAV score was or anything like that. I just think there's gonna be too much good SEC tape he's got to pass him up. So I think he'll end up getting drafted. Yeah, I said it before. I'll say it again. I think the 2 safest picks in this draft were Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs. The Cowboys got one of them, which is great. Bobby said his safest pick was Francis Mauigoa, the tackle at Miami, which pains me that means the Giants had a really good night because they got 2 pretty safe picks. And yeah, I'm just, I don't. Jeremiah Love's a great player. The Cardinals are not in a position to take a running back 3rd overall. I thought Carnell Tate went too early. And again, my theme of the night, so many offensive linemen drafted. I think some of them overdrafted. The development at that position across the board in football has never been worse. So it's a problem that I think is starting to catch up with the NFL. Hopefully Texas puts a couple good O-line products in the draft next year, which I think they will.
Yeah, I think you end up getting 6 guys drafted. It might be 5, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say they end up getting 6. They end up getting one of those guys sneak. Now Trey Moore sneaks in there, something like that. I don't think Ethan Burke will, even though I think it's weird that Ethan Burke is there's some knock against Ethan Burke for the scouts behind the scenes. I'm not sure what it is, but I think it ended up being 6. Final thoughts. I'm just giddy like Longhorn fans are about next year's draft. So I don't get too giddy about it because we got a whole season of football, but historically, it's supposed to be the best draft in modern era of Texas football. Like it's trending to be that good. So that's what I'm excited about. And one of the other takeaways I will say for me, and I think Bobby's right, there's a change of the guard happening. And I'm not sure if it's just the Big Ten taking over, but it's definitely something happening. I'm glad Bobby was here to keep track of it. But the talent now is being monopolized by the power conferences, and we'll see how the rest of the draft breaks out. But it looks like also the Big Ten is once again solidifying, or at least closing the gap between them and the SEC. If it ain't already closed, who knows?
10 or 11 first rounders. I can't count, but
yeah, I mean that's not the usual for the Big Ten, but it's becoming more of the norm. All right, thank you, Bobby. Great stuff.
Here's one more theme too, Rod, before we jump off.
Yeah.
You look at the ACC has been a hell of a farm system, hell of a farm league for the SEC and the Big Ten, and I think it just reinforces. Look at the guys Texas went after in the transfer portal: Hollywood Smothers from NC State, Sheen Biles from Pitt, Melvin Siani from Wake Forest. So that ACC feeder system is it's produced. It's that tree's bearing fruit for the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah. Monster Delane from Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Good point, gentlemen. Good stuff. All right. Thank you to Matthew behind the scenes. Nobody does it better. He's the real MVP. Thank you, Bobby, for joining us. Thanks to Coach Bob Shipley for joining us as well. CJ Vogel starting it off as well. Thank you, Jeff, for jumping in. Really appreciate all of your expertise. Thanks to each and every one of you out there for watching and for listening. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks to Jay. And Jay, stay safe. Praying for you, Jay. All right, stay safe. Jesus always. Travis, Rocky, thank you for the super chat. Kelly, thank you for the super chat as well. And thanks, guys, for the questions and participation. This was really fun, and we'll do it again next year. We're going to do it right next year. We'll be popping bottles, popping champagne, all that. For Jeff, and for Bobby, and for Matthew, I'm Lifetime Longhorn Rod Beavers. Until next time, hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em.